like me, in grim northern England.
Grim Northern England. Well, I don't know if Nottingham. You in Nottingham? Is that right?
I'm in Nottingham, yeah. Do you know what? Nottingham is right in the middle of the country, but if you're from the south,
Are
people
you
think you're
getting
from the
an
north.
advert? I've got a GoDaddy advert playing in my ear.
Oh, no.
I've got Walter Goggins talking to me.
How's that happened?
Oh, wait a minute. It's because I've got it open.
That's different,
Yeah, I've got it
different
open.
browser. Different
No,
browser
never
window.
mind.
It's a
Sorry,
confusing
yes.
situation, this live thing.
It's because
The
I had this
first,
open.
I think the first 5 or 6 lives I did, I just did something terribly wrong in the first 10 minutes. I had different tabs open, and when I went live with Stefan Milo, just everything went wrong.
Well, it's only me, so things can go as wrong as you want. It's just little old me.
Well, no. You are, I would say, you're one of the premier YouTubers who covers British prehistory. You go to the archaeological sites, you make the videos on site, which I always like. You get great footage, and you actually know what you're talking about.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'll take that. That's
Just
the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
just to blow your trumpet. I mean, yeah, this is unusual. Two men in the vague north of England, giving compliments. This isn't what normally happens.
Well, I'll compliment you as well because I've been a big fan of your channel for I mean, you've been on YouTube for like 7 years or something like that. Five,
Nearly a
7
decade,
years.
mate. Nearly a
Nearly
decade.
a decade. See, I
9
mean, you're
years.
you're one of the
years.
OG archaeology YouTubers, aren't you? I mean, you've been
Sort
of this sort of generation.
Sort of. I mean, yes, you could say that. I started doing archaeology maybe only in the last 5 years or so. So the first half of the channel was mostly history.
History,
And,
yes.
Now it's mostly archaeology. So yeah, I've sort of made the switch. Because the further back you go, the less there is history-wise.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
just
it
keep
ends,
going
doesn't
further
it?
and further back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's always the distinction between history and archaeology, and where to actually draw that line. But everything I do is archaeology because
Yeah.
you get away with more. You can guess more if it's archaeology. History. Whenever I veer into history, I tend to get things wrong. So
It is the beauty of archaeology, isn't it? You can I mean, you can't make it up, but you can kind of speculate. As long as you say, we're not sure, we don't know. It might be this, it might be that.
yes, yeah. I mean,
what it is.
my rules for archaeology are always just using the words possibly, probably, likely.
There's a lot of hypothesizing,
Yeah, hypothesizing, theorizing,
theorizing.
something like that.
Yeah. But I mean, that's everything that's proven originally was a hypothesis, wasn't it? So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I mean, because I specialise in Cumbrian prehistory, so the Lake District, if your audience doesn't know, is like the big national park in the northwest of England. That's my specialty, and there's not been a lot of extensive archaeology done on the stuff there. But whenever they actually dig, things just turn on the head instantly. It's like, I feel like the more you know about a place and its archaeology, the bigger the shift when things are actually dug.
100%.
And it's why I'm always sort of not skeptical, but I sort of dislike theory without that hard evidence. It's far nicer to say possibly for almost everything until you do that dig and actually figure
Yeah.
out what's going on.
No, I agree with you. I agree with it. And this is why you've chosen for your list loads of unexcavated sites.
Exactly, exactly.
to go
Yeah.
against
It's
everything
far
I just
easier
said.
for me. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's
Oh
cool,
no,
man. Yeah,
I've got to keep to that now, haven't I?
you wrote a book.
Yeah, I've got a book. I got a few books out. I got Cumbria's Prehistoric Monuments, which is about Cumbria, the county in the northwest of England, where the Lake District is, and I've got Yorkshire's Prehistoric Monuments. So I've sort of covered the two big counties of northern England, and I've got some gazetteers, which is like going
Nice.
site by site and
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of
Oh,
like telling you
amazing.
everything you need to know about each one.
Oh, amazing. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I only knew about your Cumbria book. I didn't know you
Yeah,
had
I've
a York one as well.
I don't think I've got one at hand. Annoyingly. Have I got one at hand? Typical, no. But yes, I do have Cumbria and Yorkshire books out there, listing all the sites with photos and descriptions and things.
I'll put a link in the comments if anybody wants to check them out.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Just
Yeah,
for the
thank
future.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Because this will be live, but then it will stay on the channel afterwards. To be honest, I think most people view these things after they've been live, because I tend to stream at like whenever in the day. I think it's the middle of the night in most places right now.
Yeah, or they're at work in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, no. So you've written those books. I mean, you know what you're talking about, man. You know what you're talking about. You are an academic, mate. You are doing a. Are you doing a PhD?
I'm doing a PhD on a subject I've already written a book about, which
Great.
is I've gone about it the complete opposite way.
Yeah. No, that's ideal. That's ideal. You've already done a lot of the research then.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, but I've
you can just disprove yourself now.
Yeah, I pretty much already am doing that. But yeah, that's the way it goes. Like you say, I mean, the more you dig into things, the more you know that you're wrong. So.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. And I completely agree. You scratch away the veneer of knowledge, and you realise we don't really know much at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everything starts with a bad guess, and then slowly erodes away to make yourself look stupid. So.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, nice. I've been a fan of your channel for ages. It's like meeting a celebrity.
Sorry to disappoint.
Yeah, like never meet your idols.
No. Oh God, no.
But
don't do that. Don't do that.
No, yeah, I mean,
I'll be disappointed.
Your channels. I mean, something I've always thought about your channels is that there's a real authenticity to what you do. Like, no matter what you do, you seem like you're genuinely really fascinated about archaeology and history. There's no like pretense of like got to get a video out. It's not saying other people do that, but like I always feel like there's a real authenticity to what you do. So
certainly, yes. I mean, this is why it takes me months and months and months to put something together sometimes, because I get carried away. I go down the rabbit hole, and then yes, it takes a long time. Yeah, sometimes by the end of it, when I actually put the thing out, I'm not loving it as much as I was at the beginning. I don't know if you have the same kind of thing with your videos sometimes. Like, it starts off with this great spark, but then by the time it's out, I'm like, get rid of it. just put it out there. Oh God.
I always get it where it's the first sort of like, it was the first 2 minutes of the video. I'm like, oh, the back end of the video is really good, but people aren't going to watch past the first 2 minutes because I haven't made it interesting enough. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
But I'm not going to spend another like week trying to make the intro better.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm always quite happy with my endings. Yeah, I know what you mean. And if it's the end of a 3-hour video,
exactly. Yeah.
Who's watching that?
Yeah, exactly. It's like only the most hardcore interested are going to see the best bit of the video.
Yeah, absolutely. And then sometimes I'll just really struggle with an intro. It'll take me 25 minutes to actually just get to grips with a topic. By which time most people are asleep. But then I get comments from people saying they watch my videos when they're asleep anyway. So,
I mean, you do such wide-ranging things as well that there's, I suppose, the research that goes into it. Because I've got a whole sort of, if I'm talking about something that's prehistoric in northern England, I already have sort of a base level. But for you, it must be really hard because you're delving into, the prehistoric cairns of Eritrea, and I wouldn't even know where to start on that.
Well, I've got a lot of interests, I suppose. I never could quite pinpoint one specific area to focus on. I've always been a bit of a dabbler. I've always just ranged quite far and wide with my interests. I haven't got like a ridiculously deep knowledge of individual things, but I've got like a wide knowledge, I suppose. I quite like comparing disparate places to each other and seeing the similarities. As we'll see in this list that we've come up with of our monuments, because we're going to be going around the globe, really, which is nice.
Yeah, it's archaeology goes global.
Yes.
Ibbotson goes global. You're wrenching me out of my Yorkshire, my damp Yorkshire locale.
Well, let's go.
Pushing me into the Middle East. We've got a lot of arid sites, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, I think we do. Lots of deserts. I mean, it is now the hottest day of the year. The sun is beating down on us, and as I was saying to you earlier, like Neolithic druids, we've been powered up by this sun. It doesn't happen often. Very sunny day here. It's very nice. Do you want to start? Where should we go?
Where should we go? I wanted to start with a UK site. The one site I'm really interested in everyone who's into UK archaeology knowing about.
We'll start in Britain.
called Shap Avenue.
Here we go. This is interesting.
Let me start by choking on some water.
Nice. It sounded like you were shocked. Like, oh, he's showing
wow.
that picture. Oh no. Oh,
Well, that's my photo.
yeah. Which one do you want me to show to begin with?
If you show the
nice...
painting, there's a painting which has never been
Okay.
shown before.
Hang on, have you been given permission to show this?
I don't need permission to show it. It's a painting from like 1776.
Ooh.
It's my photo. It's my photo.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, exactly.
Yes, my photo. So I
Look
own
at
this
this.
image.
Look at this. This is like Stookley time.
Yes, it is like Stookley time. This is what's known as Shap Avenue. And have you ever heard of this?
No.
You see, this is fascinating because I'm sure you and everyone here has probably heard of Avebury.
Mm-hmm.
Avebury, the big sort of, what I think it was Albury, called a serpentine temple. I think it was Albury. Let me just
Sounds
double
right.
check this.
Aubrey Burl.
Not Aubrey Burl, John Aubrey.
Oh, somebody else called
John
Aubrey.
Aubrey. If you
Many
bear with me.
Aubreys associated with stone circles in Britain.
Yeah,
I mean,
know
this is
what
the
that
beauty of British prehistory. There are just so many sites, so many thousands of sites that you can't possibly know all of them. It's the beauty of it. You
it's
might
amazing.
know all of them.
I know all of them.
Yeah, every single one.
Yeah, every single one
Encyclopedic
of them.
knowledge.
It was Stookley I'm talking about. William Stookley called Avebury a serpentine temple, and he was interested in it because it was pretty much unique in the British Isles. You've got this big stone circle in the centre and these two sort of trailing, what are known as avenues of stone, which are basically stone rows, but they're set together like that, so it forms an avenue through the landscape.
Yeah.
And Avebury ends on a site called the Sanctuary, which is a stone circle, which is very much like what you're seeing on screen. And this is a site up in northwest England known as Shap Avenue. And this painting is from 1776. This site no longer exists because they built a train line over it, if you can believe it. And all those stones
I can believe it.
Yeah. I mean, they do that kind of thing today. So back in
they
1776, you can imagine how bad it was.
Yeah.
But the navvies came, the Victorians came, and they pretty much demolished the entire thing. And what it was a site possibly larger than Avebury that fit the exact same typology.
Wow.
Yeah, and the site that you're seeing there on screen is known as Kemp Howe. So it was the terminal end to what has been described as, but we're not quite sure, a 3-mile long avenue of stones with one of England's largest, one of Britain's or Europe's largest stone circles in the centre of it.
Do you know what? I mean, that would be one of the largest in the world.
It would be absolutely massive, and it boggles my mind that no one's heard of it. We've got paintings of it, we've got descriptions of it.
I agree with you. However, it doesn't exist anymore. That's probably why.
I mean, that's why.
It's the sad thing about it. I mean, I'm fascinated, but yeah, I think the average person, to be honest, the average person probably hasn't heard of Avebury.
True. I mean, you forget that, don't you?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Stonehenge, but Avebury, less known, which is a shame because Avebury is amazing.
Avebury, to me, is, I mean, it's sort of cliched to say, but that Avebury is more interesting and easier to visit than Stonehenge because it's got a pub in the middle of it.
It's got a pub in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, why wouldn't it be better? But I think just in terms of its landscape and the actual sheer scale of the thing, it is bigger than Stonehenge.
It's bigger, yeah.
It would have, I think, just in general, it would have taken longer to build. I know there's the whole conversation about how far the stones came to build Stonehenge and what that would have taken. But in terms of just the actual monument itself and the scale of it, I think it's very hard these days.
Yeah.
The pure man hours of actually building it, from having the materials there. I think when you stand on one side of Avebury looking across it, it's kind of hard to imagine how big it is because there's intervening buildings and everything shrinks the further in the distance you actually look at it. but it's so big. And then they've got Silbury Hill. They've got all those long barrows that, I mean, you have those at Stonehenge, but just the scale of them and the amount of them at Avebury is just.
It's the whole landscape, isn't it? It's all of it comes together.
It's amazing.
Is that similar here as well? Do you have barrows and things?
Yeah. So the Shap landscape is very similar to Avebury. You've got lots of barrows in the landscape. You've got long barrows. You've got causewayed enclosures. The difference is that they've all been, or not all, but mostly been demolished, or used for like. I mean, I don't know how similar it is down where you are, but a lot of these things got used as like fence posts. Which is unthinkable that people would blow up a stone and make it into a fence post. But the central stone circle of Shap Avenue was a site called Kemp Howe, which we don't know how big it was. But if you flip to the diagram image I've got of it, you'll see it's like a long portrait.
Hang on, I've forgotten how to use a computer. Here we go.
That's the one, yeah. If you can imagine, like, so that's Kemp Howe. You could fit a horse and carriage inside that. That central stone circle there, and this is a diagram by a guy called Reverend Simpson from like 1850s, 1820s.
It's always
like
reverends back then.
It's always a reverend something,
Yeah.
This was based on descriptions and talking to locals about how it may have been, but they estimated the stone circle to be that big, so it was absolutely massive, and it had a central stone that when it was quarried, just before they made the rail line through it, they made 17 fence posts out of it.
Flipping heck.
So a fence post is about as it's about as tall as a person.
Yeah.
So 17 of those, it must have been giant.
Flipping heck, yeah, it must have been huge. So one massive megalith in the middle.
Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, that's the
Sundial?
description. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's just.
Or you can go with the classic fertility symbol.
Yeah. I'm not going to yet ask you what you think these things were for, because we could probably be here all day. But I guess maybe, to be honest, maybe just quickly, what do you think they were for, just real quick? If you
Good lord. To be honest,
just everything really.
It fits into that sort of stone circles in the UK, and to be honest, like parts of France and things. When we imagine them, we're imagining just circles of stone, and I think it was Aubrey Burley who counted up to 1,500 of those.
Yeah.
That is actually a bad number. Stone circles in this sense, like the big congregational, stereotypical, sort of archetypal stone circles, like Avebury or Stonehenge or the Rollright Stones or Stanton Drone.
The great circles.
The great circles are actually, or the Ring of Brodgar in Orkney is a good example.
Oh.
They are ridiculously rare. They're actually, I mean, you can sort of list them out.
Yes.
And be like, okay, I've got the majority of them just from memory. If you know the topic.
Yeah, for sure. Callanish is another. Well, it's not quite a circle, but it's a beautiful place.
Well, funnily enough, that's quite similar to this. It's a stone circle with a trailing avenue. That's its own very rare typology.
Yes.
It's a strange.
That's
one.
a beautiful place, that is, because it's rare. It's very rare. It's more like Karnak in a way, in Brittany. It's because it's the rows of. Well, I don't know. It seems a bit like that.
Yeah. No. I mean, it is. It's. The problem as well with these things is that because they're just standing stones, it's very easy to sort of like mix up typologies and say, oh, that's like that. But then they're all kind of similar.
They're all kind similar-ish. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's possibly a similar idea going through them. There's probably a similar thread that led to their construction. But, we like to link things up, don't we, and make patterns out of things.
Yeah, well, archaeologists love to do that, especially because it's what we have sometimes.
Yeah.
But stone circles are the big congregational ones. The best we have to understand them is that they are congregational, ceremonial, and I know people hate to hear it, but ritual.
Oh, I knew you were going to say the R word.
I know,
it's true, though.
I mean, because we've excavated them before, and what do we find? Sometimes we find secondary burials from the Bronze Age. Sometimes we find the odd tool from the Neolithic that dates these to roughly around 3000 BC. But generally, there's nothing inside them.
Yeah.
And if you were to dig up a church, what would you find? You'd find nothing and a few secondary burials. It's kind of it's kind of impossible to imagine what they were because we don't know the religion of the time.
Totally.
But something like this in Avebury, I'd say it's pretty obvious that they were. What's the word for it? They're basically moving through it. It's a channeling,
processioning,
processual. That's the word.
Yes.
Processional. It's leading you between places.
And you see this all throughout the world. To be honest, all through history until kind of the Abrahamic religions. But then it still survives a little bit in those sort of Christianity and things like that. But all ancient religions have this processual thing.
Yes.
All over the world. The Nazca lines may well have been used for big processions to walk across the landscape from one place to another place while undertaking some sort of religious rite. You know, ancient Egypt, between Karnak and Luxor, the two big big two temples at modern day, well, not modern day Luxor, people would walk between them carrying sort of like all sorts of like things that they would venerate, basically. So I sort of think about whether there was something going on similar to that. Well,
as well, a lot of these things have leaders. So you've got whoever's the sort of leader of the church or whoever's leading the congregation. In a ritual sense, it's kind of obvious that you're going to be part of that might be movement. And if it's movement between two places, you're going to sort of make it more of a thing. You know, who's to say that stone circle didn't exist first, then they built another one at the other end, and they joined the two up.
And someone is leading these people.
And presumably someone's leading them.
Some sort of proto-priest.
Proto-priest, yes.
Yeah. It's always proto when you go further back in time, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, they'll call it like proto-religion, which means religion.
It just means religion.
Yeah,
so a proto-priest is just a priest. Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, if you want to flip to the next image as well.
Let's look at the pictures of...
So there are bits that survive.
Oh, great, okay. Oh yeah, I was going to say, I mean, walking through the British landscape, I'm sure many landscapes around the world, sometimes you'll see a big stone incorporated into a field wall. And I'm always thinking like, oh, that looks a bit stone circle-y. Surely that's been taken from something, 200, 300 years ago. And often they are. Often you'll see standing stones just incorporated into the fence of a farm.
Yeah, well, this is, Shap Avenue has become one big wall. You can walk through.
There we go.
It's funny, Shap, the village, it's in eastern Cumbria, in the Eden Valley. And it's the most sort of, I don't want to slag off Shap, but locally it's sort of known as a bit of it's sort of backwater. It's got a lot of quarries, and it's got these big chimneys, and if you're on the M6, you'll drive past it and look out the window and say, oh, there's Shap. It's a very strange place.
Yeah.
And walking through it, one of the weirdest things about it is that the walls are made of megalithic stones. A lot of the walls are made of these huge boulders that have sort of dry stone walling on top. Presumably, they came from the avenue.
Yes. Yeah. It would make sense, wouldn't it? It would make sense.
Like
we like to recycle
the town itself
things.
The town itself is made of the avenue.
Someone is going to be watching this, and they're going to be sad now. Someone from Shap. The mayor of Shap is watching this.
I think Shap has a population
crying.
of about 20. I like Shap. I've been to Shap loads of times. It was one of those places when I lived in the Lake District that we used to drive through all the time because it was kind of ironic to visit Shap. You just go to Shap for the day.
The Eden Valley is beautiful. I've been through there.
Have you been to any historic sites in the Eden Valley?
No, not many. I did some hill forts.
Oh, really?
To be honest, actually, now I think about it, I passed straight through the Lake District and went up to Galloway.
There aren't any hill forts in the Lake District, really. I mean, there are.
There's quite a few in Galloway, but that's just to the north, because it was all the kingdom of Reged in the sort of post-Roman period, supposedly. Is what we think.
There's a visitor centre called Reged right next to Shap.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's one of those sort of like Tony Blair era big sort of like heritage attractions that no
like
one
the
goes
Millennium
to anymore.
Dome.
Yeah, like the Millennium Dome, yeah.
Yeah, which was abandoned after about 2 minutes.
It's got a big turf roof, and they've got a cinema in there that plays like local films.
Oh, right.
Really worth a visit if you're in the Lake District. They do great ice cream.
To be honest, man, it sounds exactly like the sort of thing that I'd like to go and do. I'm getting League of Gentlemen vibes from Shap.
It is. Everyone's got like webbed hands and feet and like a big jaw. Yeah, no, it's Shap Avenue is there are bits that survive. The bit you're looking at there is what's it called? The Aspers Fieldstone, which has some cup and ring markings on it. And then there's
Oh, right, okay.
if you can
Cup and
just
ring
squint
marks, yeah,
in the
yeah.
distance, there's one called the Goggleby Stone. You see that? Huge stone.
Massive.
So if you imagine a 3 mile long avenue of stones formed of stones of that size,
It's insane, man. That's absolutely huge.
it's
That is
basically
Avebury levels.
Avebury. Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
Avebury V2. And there's not really any other comparable site in the UK.
You know what? I've just remembered somewhere that I have been in Cumbria. Mayborough.
Maber, yes, Maberhenge.
Maberhenge. That's massive.
It's amazing, Maberhenge, yeah.
And that is kind of unknown as well, I would argue.
I'd be interested, what did you think of Maberhenge? Because I've got some
I loved
factoids
it.
on Maber if
I
you
was
want.
loved it. I was just passing through, and yeah, when it reminded me of, Avebury and all these other Arbor as well. We were mentioning. That's another with a big earthwork.
Yes. Maber is really interesting. I don't know if there's a way to get Maber on screen to show people, but Maber...
Did you like how I called it Mayborough as well?
Well, to be fair, I think if you go by like Edinburgh,
Yeah.
people don't call it Edinburgh.
No, true. Well, then, I don't know, maybe
It's got a weird spelling. It's like I don't know what it would be. It'd be like Cumbric or Viking.
Oh yeah, yeah. It would be
Regedian.
something that isn't quite English
Yes.
because there's a different history. Are you from that area then?
Yeah, I'm from Windermere in the Lake District.
You've got a Viking name.
Ibbotson, yes, I do. Yeah.
Is that
It's
a
got-
long
it's got
last? Is that a
Cumbria
recent
has the
thing? Or is that,
highest. Sorry, go on. What were you going to ask?
no,
Sorry.
just like is that a recent name or is that? Could you trace your family line back to somebody called Ibbot 1,000 years ago?
I don't know. I think Ibbotson comes from the son of an abbot, but I might be wrong.
Oh, okay.
So presumably that's something sort of post medieval.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to trace my name really. That's the kind of thing I should be into.
Hmm.
Morgan,
Well,
though.
it's just-
Morgan's Welsh. There you go. Morgan.
Oh yeah. Nice.
But yeah, Maber's really interesting, and
Here
it's,
it is.
it's right next to Shap Avenue. It's actually
Oh, is
Shap
it?
Avenue goes up through the landscape and sort of heads in
cool.
that direction. So some of
I've
them are
passed
sort of,
through Shap then. I have been past.
you
Shap.
will have passed through Shap, yeah, absolutely. The Eden Valley has some of the largest prehistoric monuments in Britain. It's got Maberhenge, it's got Long Meg and the Daughters. Shap Avenue, you wouldn't know, was one of the biggest, but it was the biggest. And then Maberhenge is, it used to have, you can see there's a central stone in it.
Yeah.
There used to be 8 of those in there, forming a stone circle. And that then used to have an avenue of stones going out from it, a lot like Shap Avenue.
Crazy, man. I've got like, here we go, a little map of the
Wow.
landscape.
How have you got these ready? This is mad.
I've got 2 screens, mate.
Oh, I see, right. I was like, what?
I'm IT man. Check me out.
There you go. You can actually see them plotted on that.
Terrible quality, but there's another one called King Arthur's Court or something.
King Arthur's Round Table, yeah.
That's it, yeah, King Arthur's Round Table next to Mayborough.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it used to have an avenue going out that presumably headed towards King Arthur's Round Table. But the morphology, the typology of Maber, interestingly, is not English. It is Irish. It's what's known as an Irish-style henge, or a type 1C henge, which is a style of henge found only in one place.
Giant's
in
Ring?
Great Britain. Giant's Ring, yeah, exactly, yeah. And Douth Henge.
Oh, Douth.
Douth Henge, Giant's Ring, and then there was one other example in Great Britain, so the big highland, which was Catterick. But again, that was destroyed, but it was used as an arena for the Romans.
How interesting. So,
Yeah,
I mean, this is
it's a
not
very
too,
rare, unusual type of henge.
not too far from Ireland, though, is it? Really? I mean, you can jump across the sea to what would it be? Well, near Belfast, really, Northern Ireland.
Yeah, we're pretty much parallel with. I think we're parallel with. I've got Google Maps open. I can share this. We're parallel with Belfast, which is where the Giant's Ring is. So,
That's where the Giant's Ring is. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of. I mean, one of the interesting things, I don't want to rant too much about this because get me
This is
started, I'll go
no,
mad.
this is really good actually because this transitions very nicely to my site. So yeah, you carry on.
I was just going to say that if you actually look at Britain in the Neolithic,
Yeah.
it is not split north-south. It is split east-west. Where you get henges, where you get stone circles of the sort of Cumbrian variety, places like Stonehenges in a blue stone circle, or the big stone circles of Cornwall and Wales, and Cumbria, and those Scottish Isles, where you have like Callanish and all that. That's all on the west coast of Great Britain. It's very rare to find that kind of thing in eastern Britain, where it's more or less henges you get. So the megalithic tradition of this kind of enclosure, which is big stone-built enclosures where you can congregate inside, that's very much a sort of Irish Sea tradition. You cross over the Pennines, or down south it would just be like going east. You're then looking at sort of henge territory. That's your classic Thornborough or the infinite number of henges that are dug up during development over in the east. So it's very much an Irish, that stone circle tradition is very much an Irish sea tradition.
Super interesting, and because I mean we think of Ireland and Britain as being not necessarily connected, but they've absolutely always been connected.
Yeah.
And it's easier to cross the sea than cross the mountains.
Yes. Yeah.
Take your little boat, jump over, easy peasy. Crossing the mountains is hard.
Crossing the mountains back then would have been a whole ordeal. I mean, people forget that. We look valley to valley, which will probably come up in some of the other sites we're going to look at. Valley to valley, back in prehistory, would have been possibly a day's hike.
Yeah.
Which today you just hop in a car and it might be 15 minutes. So you can have little cultural flourishes, little differences between two small valleys.
Absolutely.
Oh wow!
You're gonna try and guess where this is.
Well, it looks like one of the North American henge-like things.
It is, yeah.
Like a Hopewell? Is that right?
It is Hopewell, yeah. Well,
it's a Hopewell. There you go.
It is. Well, this is the Newark. This is part of the Newark Earthworks. This is the Great Circle at Newark, which is in Ohio of all places. So it's. I mean, I feel like there's a bit of a Shap element here because it's kind of like. I think Americans sort of laugh at Ohio a bit, which I think is harsh. Because I went to Ohio, I loved it, but it is very all-American. It's like the most American of places.
Ohio is the Shap of America.
Yeah, I think like J.D. Vance is from there or something. It's sort of like just very. I mean, people sort of laugh at it and think it's a bit of a backwater sometimes.
Right.
But just the same as Eastern England, very sadly, most of these monuments are gone. So there would have been absolutely thousands of these things covering the landscape. Europeans came along and didn't think much of them a lot of the time. They either thought they were made by Europeans or they just thought, that's pointless, let's get rid of it and build a house on top of it. But, in the last 50, 60 years or so, an incredible story of these just, really advanced people in prehistory has been uncovered by archaeologists. And it's an entire society that lived 2,000 years ago up to around 1,600 years ago thereabouts, called the Hopewell. Which, I mean, do you know all about this? Did you learn all about this?
I know bits and pieces, just because it's so similar to. It's so similar to British prehistory.
Yeah, this is what this is what I like to get at because it's really similar. They're making very similar kinds of things. They're at a similar societal level to Neolithic Britain. It's kind of like early incipient agriculture. They're not fully making big fields of corn and things yet, but they are adapting their landscape to their needs. They're kind of like doing horticulture basically. So they are like cultivating seeds and grains and all these things on the landscape to produce more food than the land would naturally give them. And they're making these massive ceremonial sites. So this in itself, it's a little bit similar to things in Britain. There's a weird fact about this one actually, because the dimensions are almost the same as the earthworks at Avebury.
Oh right.
they're
They're a lot neater
really-
than the ones at Avebury, I will say.
yeah. It's very neat. It's very
They're
almost
incredible.
mathematically done with precision. You got to think somebody was designing this surely with bits of string and rope and planning it out, because these things happen over and over again. You'll get one in a particular area of Ohio, and then a little bit later you get almost exactly the same monument built further away.
Yes.
So it's like somebody just tries to recreate the exact same thing that their ancestors made.
I will say, a few
Bonkers.
cycles of those trees growing and blowing down will make it look like Avebury in a few thousand years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to build a pub inside.
Build a pub in it, yeah, exactly. Or a bar.
Unfortunately, the other bits of... I'm not sure if have I got a picture of it? The other bits of the Newark Earthworks, some of it... Here we go, yeah. Some of it's in a golf club now. So
Oh, wow.
this is the octagon. So you can see these sort of indentations in the landscape. It's been turned into a golf club. So
It looks
I
like it's
find
like
it
a
quite
giant
sad.
mini golf.
yeah, pretty much. It's a ready-made golf club, basically. But as far as I understand it, I think the Ohio Archaeological Conservancy have bought the golf club back, I think, possibly. So they may be turning it back into, well, an archaeological site and saving it, because
I mean,
it is at risk.
That's
you know.
great. That's probably done more for preservation than anything could ever have done. I mean, the way Americans treat their mounds, or have done historically, is probably an
Yeah.
absolute blessing
Yeah.
that it has a golf course on it.
Yeah, so it has been saved by being a golf course, yeah. The other thing, what was I going to say? Do you know what, the thought has popped out of my head, but somebody in the comments has said, does this date to the Cahokia period? This is before Cahokia, actually. So Cahokia is this big, massive city, basically, of 20,000 people, which grows up around about 1000 AD sort of time. This is like 600 years before that, ends 600 years before that. And it's a much different society. So Cahokia is a place with kings. Cahokia is almost like a Mesoamerican style place with pyramids and kings and human sacrifice and all that stuff. Life at the Hopewell Earthworks might have been quite nice in a way, because people are they're coming together, they're congregating for these big ceremonies, but generally they live scattered existences out in villages in the countryside. They don't tend to live at these big sites.
So is it a sort of congregational?
It seems to be a yearly
Ritual
or
foci.
bi-yearly, or yeah, exactly. So they're coming in, they're having a big festival. It's like Glastonbury 300 AD, or Burning Man, I should say, for the Americans in the audience. It's
Yeah,
Burning
plenty of
Man,
tobacco getting smoked
or
in those parts.
Coachella. Yes, they would have done tobacco, and if you have really strong tobacco, it's got psychedelic properties. So
Really?
Yeah, so there would have been some imbibing of that, because there's lots of pipes that are found. These sort
That's
of
the number one thing I know about them, is the
decorated pipes. Yeah.
crazy pipes.
And they've all got animals on them, and they may have been trying to imbibe the spirit of that particular animal by smoking from that pipe. So they've got things like owls and foxes and frogs and things on them.
Do
gonna
you
say
get
something else, but it's
burials
gone.
in these? The actual mounds
some of the-
themselves?
Some of the mounds do have burials in. Some of them are filled with copper plates as well, with all sorts of artwork on them, because these people, they were beating copper into quite beautiful designs. I don't have a picture of it ready, but they're in the British Museum. If anybody wants to go to the British Museum and see them, you can see the copper Hopewell plates, and they're all sorts of quite stunning artwork, really.
Would this be near where the Serpent Mound? I know the Serpent Mound.
This is near Serpent Mound. Serpent Mound is in Ohio. I've got a map somewhere. Serpent Mound actually dates possibly to the earlier period, which is the Adena period, and then it's added to all through the Hopewell period until the Fort Ancient period, which comes after. Serpent Mound is a really interesting site.
It is interesting.
It's weird.
This
It's
because
weird.
I find it very interesting that they've jumped to earthworks, because like throughout Europe, for instance, it seems to be a lot of timber and megalithic sites, ritual sites, that then become more sort of composite earthwork and rubble. It seemed like they just launched straight into mounds and do it for
Yeah.
10,000 years.
For some reason, they just do the mound thing here.
And there's
they
no
do
stone. I mean, I
lots of
assume there are
variations
some.
of mounds. Well, there are some. there's a circle at Cahokia actually, but it's a timber circle, so it's a
Right.
little bit like stone circles, but it's made completely of timber, completely perfectly round. Don't know what that was used for. What was going on there?
Dancing about.
But yeah,
naked.
this is Ohio, so you can see we are looking at the Great Circle earthworks and the Octagon earthworks here at Newark. But then there's another big collection of Hopewell earthworks of similar kind of style down here. This is what the Newark earthworks
Wowzers.
look like from the air. It's just crazy. There's all sorts of stuff going on.
So the bit we've seen is the top left. Is that right?
That's the Octagon. That's the golf course, top left. The Great Circle is down here.
Oh, I see. There were two different sites.
Two different
right.
sites. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And this now is a town. So this is
Yes.
Newark. This is the town of Newark, just plonked right on top. So it makes Avebury look like nothing really, like because it's just massive town right on top of this. Unfortunately, I think most of these processional ways don't exist anymore. But this is a map that was created by what they called Squire and Davis. They're two antiquarians in the mid 1800s, and they go around America documenting sites like this. They suspect that all these things were made by Europeans because they're like adherents of the mound builder myth.
Yes.
But
yeah.
we can thank them for the work that they created because it is a great work. And
Were they the ones digging them up and saying like 8-foot giant found in mound?
not quite, you know. Squire and Davis were pretty mainstream archaeology.
Right.
But there were a lot of people who were not. There's a lot of dynamite being used to blow
Yes.
up
That. Yeah.
mounds, and yes, all sorts of just very suspect stuff going on. But yeah, archaeology's moved on quite a bit since then, and that's what I was going to say. These are now UNESCO World Heritage Sites, so fingers crossed they'll be protected, and they may even get a little bit more tourism and things like this, because it was only, I think, 3 years ago or something they were made into UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
That's wild, that, isn't it?
But
I
yeah,
suppose there
crazy.
wasn't a lot
Absolutely crazy.
of preservation going on back then. It was probably quite tricky for them to swing that, considering they built
Yeah.
a town on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is
Wow.
kind of what it looks like when you're there.
That's
You can see
amazing.
they're big, man. They're big, and it's like seems to be something to do with purification. So when you're inside, it's like this ritually pure place. It's almost separated from the outside world, and there's something going on in the middle there. And it's such
Very
a big,
henge-like. Very,
it's
very
henge-like.
henge-like.
It's very Avebury-like.
It's the ditch in the middle. It's the
super
ditch
similar.
inside the bank.
Yeah.
It screams ritual. I hate saying that, but it
Yeah,
does
it
scream.
does,
I
it
mean,
does,
what
it does, it
what
does,
else
it
is the
does.
purpose of having a ditch in the middle?
It does.
There are very
and
few
that's what I was-
sites like that.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say as well. Yeah, the during the Civil War, the site is big enough that an entire Union, I think, army was housed inside this Newark Earthworks, and later on, there was a massive fair that was in the middle, and I think like 10,000 people or something were at this fair.
Wow.
So
10,000.
big. Something like that, yeah. Huge numbers could fit inside this thing. So you got to think. I mean, maybe there weren't 10,000 people there in the past, but a lot of people could have fitted inside there.
Yeah. I mean, that's bonkers, isn't it? I mean, the amount of
crazy.
man hours that would take, because they're not
It's
just
huge.
digging into earth there; they're digging into
No.
presumably bedrock. And it would.
Exactly.
I think what another thing people forget is that when you see that is overgrown and buried,
Yeah,
even though
yeah,
it's
exactly.
as it is, it would have been way deeper.
We're
and
not
taller.
seeing the leveled out plaza, which is what actually would have been there, because it's not rough ground. They actually leveled the thing out to make it sort of appear different to the land around it. You know, it wouldn't have just been sort of grass in the middle. It would have been this plaza-like place. This is a nice little, just found this earlier on Google. Just a little just rough idea of what could have been happening. You know. And
What is happening there?
I don't know. It's pretty psychedelic, isn't it? Looks like a metal
You do
cover,
some chanting or something.
yeah,
Or
an album cover.
it's very
Yeah.
black. Yeah, it's very
Black metal.
black metal.
I think. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Get a nice little fun image of what was going on. Crazy,
Wow.
man.
It is cool. I mean, that's got to be one of the best
There's
earthwork sites anywhere. That's wild, isn't it?
the main archaeologist who works on this is called Brad Lepper, and shout out to Brad Lepper. Had recorded a
Brad
podcast
Lepper?
episode with him recently, which will be coming out at some point when I get round to it.
Is he like missing
And
fingers and things?
What's that?
Is he a leper? He's like missing fingers and
Right.
things?
No. Yeah, maybe his ancestors. Maybe that's where the name comes from. He thinks that he says it's like a Mecca. It's a Mecca, but we don't know who the Muhammad was. So it's a central place, really important to this culture, most important site this culture ever made, but we don't know anything of the story.
I mean, that is what. I mean, by the time the Europeans arrived, that must have ceased. I mean, whatever religion or ritual framework that was leading to that being built, presumably was there somewhere.
Well, this was gone by the time Cahokia rose. So Cahokia rises 500 years later, and whatever was happening here is already irrelevant by that point. Because
Do
by
we
the
think
time
they had some
Cahokia
kind of
rises,
continuity in belief?
maybe
Are there-
somewhere along the line. But Cahokia is a completely different type of society because they are very into war and they are maize farmers. So they're doing proper agriculture. Therefore, they can have a much larger population and they live in cities, basically, like urban centres. So it's a different style of life to these people. But maybe something of this society survives.
By the way, I love drawings like this. Isn't that great?
Oh, it's
Every site needs a watercolour or a pencil drawing.
This is what we're losing with AI because this
exactly.
isn't going to be funded anymore. And we're going to lose the skills to do it.
It's those 1990s.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Archaeological
Absolutely.
drawings. Very nice.
I mean, this is a nice one as well. I don't really know what is going on with this, but it just gives you a little insight. I've only shown you the Newark Earthworks. As we saw briefly on this map, I mean, all these sites are mental. They're all completely insane. And they're all
Fort
similar.
Ancient is a good name.
Fort Ancient. That's a great place. So I visited there. I'll put a video out on it eventually. But that's actually one of the largest hilltop enclosures in the world. So it's a hill where the entire top of the hill has been surrounded by these big banks. It wasn't defensive because it's got about 100 openings. So it's some sort of religious site on top of a hill.
Wow. I love the name though. I love that. It's Ancient Fort becomes just it's Fort Ancient.
I mean, that's because Europeans came along and they were like, this must be a hill fort. They thought it was a hill fort.
Right.
They thought it was like Maiden Castle or something. But it's not. It's not defensive.
Amazing though. I mean, I suppose that's one of the beauties of the internet is more people are learning about things like those because I suppose way back when you wouldn't know. I don't think many people would know about these, would they?
No. To be honest, nobody knows about them now. People in Ohio don't know about them. When I was at Mound City, there's signs everywhere saying, "Please do not walk on the mounds. These are very, fragile." I see a lady just running up the mounds with her dog, and I'm like, I couldn't help myself. I said, "Don't go up there. There's a big sign saying don't do it." And she was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know." Like, okay, that's just.
I feel like that happens everywhere
typical.
you go. Anywhere there's
It
a
does.
"don't do something" sign, whenever you read it, you look up and there's someone doing exactly what it says not to do.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a great one in Ireland. If you go to there's a what's it called? Knocknaree. There's a hill in Ireland, and there's a if you go on the sorry, wait a minute, I'm just playing with my. Sorry, I lost you for a second. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Yeah, sorry. If you go on Street View, there's a thing called like the Knocknaree cairn. It's one of the biggest cairns in Ireland. And
I think I know the one you're talking about. On top of a big hill.
Yes, it's at Sligo.
Yes,
There's a
I know the
huge
one
sign
you're
saying "Don't go on this," and there's just loads of people on top. Of it. So the one notable thing about it, it's covered in people.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's one or two people, but it does end up being thousands and tens of thousands, and then it does erode it over time. But
I would like to climb up Silbury Hill at some point.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. Obviously
Well,
not allowed,
it's
but
collapsed so many times over the years, hasn't it? You know.
Yeah, you fall into it. To be fair.
All right, let's get some haste on. What's the next one? Where are we going next?
What are my options? Should we do Shimal?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's go desert. I think. Is this UAE?
That's Shimal. Yeah, that's Shimal. This, what you're looking at, is quite timely actually. It's on the Oman Peninsula, on the very tip of the UAE in the north. And it's a little valley that is east of a place called Ras Al Khaimah, which is one of the sort of major towns north of Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically, well, actually, I hate to say this, but it's sort of like the Stonehenge of the UAE. It is a huge funerary landscape in a little valley down from the Strait of Hormuz, and it has got so many different types of prehistoric burial monuments. What you're looking at there is from the Bronze Age, so you're talking something like what would it be? It's of the Wadi Souk period, so it's about 2000 BC. That.
Yeah, 3rd millennium BC.
3rd millennium BC, and it's of the Wadi Souk culture, which was this huge culture that emerged on that little tip of the Oman Peninsula back then, and it seems to be related to trade. As the Strait of Hormuz is today, it seems like a lot of people were passing through there, and this culture emerged, which had all these big sort of megalithic burial traditions. And I think in Shimal, there is something like, what we know of, there's over 200 of these in this little valley. It's absolutely amazing. And it's been on a UNESCO tentative list for, I think, around 20 years. It's never gone through. But it's one of the hidden wonders of the UAE, which most people, when they think UAE, they just think of Dubai. But they do have prehistoric archaeology there.
Do you know what? I am one of the weird people who does think prehistory when I think the South Arabian Peninsula, just the Arabian Peninsula. But I've not heard of this one. I mean, it just shows how exciting this area is in terms of prehistory, because there's so much going on.
Well, there's been a lot of buzz recently.
Yeah,
there's been loads of buzz recently about Arabian archaeology with those kite tombs and things that have popped up out the desert. But this is one of those ones that no one really knows about, and they haven't. I
was speaking to a guy the other day, actually, another podcast that I've recorded. I'm making a podcast, everybody, just so you know. Eventually, I'll release it, probably this summer. What's that?
Wasn't Hugh Thomas, was that?
It was, yeah.
It was Hugh Thomas.
Hugh Thomas,
is a great guy.
Yeah. And we were talking about mustahils, which is what he investigates, and it's similar kind of thing to this. They're this and there's tens of thousands of them. There's so many of them across the entirety of Arabia. It's insane how many there are.
And they're all in these sort of arid regions that we don't think of as necessarily habitable.
Yeah.
They're really, so obviously there were a lot of people hanging around these areas.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's all to do really with that Strait of Hormuz in this area, because some of the things they found are bits of pottery from places as far flung as India and Turkey. So people were coming from either end of the world and passing through there and dropping into Shimal.
Just as they do today.
Yeah. And there's I mean, there isn't just that. There are hilltop enclosures. You've got hill forts there, which doesn't matter where you go in prehistory. If there's trade, there's a hill fort for whatever reason.
Yeah. For sure.
Just because that's just seems to be, if you've got a hill, it's defensible. You stick some earthworks on it. That's the most basic form of defense you could possibly ask for.
Absolutely.
And then again, prehistory, a lot of it is funerary. So what has survived are all these megalithic monuments. But yeah, amazing place.
So this is one valley.
Yes.
This is like, I'm thinking, what's the one is it Kilmartin Glen, where it's just, hundreds of sites in one valley in Scotland, or the Boyne Valley or something like that. I'm thinking this is super significant.
It's a lot smaller though. This is like a little, it's what you call a wadi.
Oh, is it just one wadi?
It's one wadi,
So I
and
know
it's just
a wadi
packed with...
is a dried up riverbed, basically, isn't it? And so,
Yes,
wow,
yeah.
one wadi or wadi just filled
Well,
with
it's
these
sort of like
things.
it's a valley with like several wadis sort of forming into it. But it is one small. You can explore the area in a few hours. It's not like the Eden Valley where you need a
Yeah.
lifetime to
Okay.
explore it.
Got you. Yeah. You're are you riding a motorbike?
Oh, I've got my motorbike bus. I'm actually sat on a hot rod right now.
You've got the Hell's Angels driving past your window. Oh, nice. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunately a little bit topical with
Yes.
the world seeming to be on fire a little bit at the moment.
The company I work for is doing work out there at the moment. That's why this is on my radar.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
doing some consultancy work for the UAE. But
Oh, cool.
they're stuck out there at the moment.
Oh, no.
They're stuck looking at these monuments.
We've
Which,
we've got a friend who's in Qatar actually, and they're not having a very good time at the moment.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a tomb.
That's a tomb. That's what's known as a Galila.
Love it.
Gagia. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's a Galila type tomb.
It's a
basically.
whole new frontier, isn't it? The Arabian Peninsula.
There's so little
there's-
done. There's so little.
So little's
done
been
there.
done. Yeah. It
I mean,
feels
obviously,
like
there's a lot being done. Don't get me wrong.
yeah. Oh, of
But
course,
it's,
of course.
there's
of
so
course.
much potential archaeology.
So
there.
much potential, and they have money to fund it as well. It's
Oh,
good to
God,
know
yeah.
that the oil money is going towards something nice bit of archaeology, and they're all
Arabia's-
getting big museums as well, which is good.
Arabia's interesting because they're shifting over to a tourism economy.
That's right.
And part
That's
of
right.
that for them is getting more UNESCO sites.
Absolutely.
So a lot of these places are receiving a lot more attention just
That's
in the
right,
last
yeah.
4 or 5 years.
Hmm.
So you're going to see a lot more out of Arabia in years to come.
Absolutely. And Saudi as well. Saudi is going to be a big tour. Well, it already is a place to go for tourism. It's quite expensive at the moment, but hopefully it'll get a bit cheaper, and yeah, we can all go visit.
Yeah, I mean, they're toning down a lot of the laws to
Yes.
allow more
Yes.
people in.
Yes,
and,
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just people discovering that there is a lot out there. I mean,
Yeah,
you wouldn't have
absolutely.
known
Absolutely.
20 years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, one of the great things to state the obvious, a lot of it has not been built over, which is great. So you still have the landscape. It's quite pristine in a way. There are areas where no one's really been there in 4,000 years.
Yes. Yeah. It depends how developed the area is. They have some
that's
different
right,
ideas
exactly,
on heritage preservation over there. But
Yeah. But
like
unlike Britain, for example, where everything has been built over
yes,
many
yes.
times,
Yeah.
particularly in the east of the island where most people live, really, in the lowlands, not much survives from archaeology down there. Like in Nottingham, where I am, I mean, there's not much. There's a little bit of, little bits and bobs of archaeology left, but not a huge amount, because most of it gets lost to the plough.
Yes. Well, one of the things I'm most interested in, funnily enough, is what's known as survivorship bias in archaeology. And one of the most interesting things in the UK, I always think, is the Cursus monument at Stonehenge.
Oh yeah.
Find me another Cursus monument as well preserved as the one at Stonehenge, and then tell me that the weren't. Whoa, there goes my alarm. Scared the hell out of me.
Is that speak to Pete?
Yeah.
You're an hour late.
He said just keep speaking to Pete. That was a
Yeah,
reminder. Keep talking.
Keep breathing.
I have one of those every hour.
Yeah.
No, yeah. The fact that the Stonehenge Cursus survives is actually a good indication that Stonehenge is an example of survivorship bias. Because where else does one of those survive? Everywhere else where there was probably a major ritual complex probably has a town on it.
Yeah, I can't think of any cursuses really that survive. I mean, I know of them from crop marks and things, but like, they're very enigmatic Cursus monuments. I think most people haven't heard of them, but they are one of the most interesting monuments of all, I would say. They're so big. They're so ludicrously big.
It's very little explored as well. There's
Yeah.
not been a lot of archaeology done on
It's
Cursus
hard
monuments.
to fathom though, because they barely exist. So you can only see them through crop marks.
We don't really know what was in them either.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, the one at Stonehenge is like one of the only surviving Cursus monuments, which is what makes it so special. But yeah, it's just interesting that, I mean, it's the same as these. would we even be talking about it if there was a town in that valley? No, we just wouldn't know.
You shouldn't know, yeah.
So it's very
right.
important not to put too much, sort of like lump too much importance on well preserved sites that are sort of exciting looking, because you don't know what's been lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've got to think, we've got Stonehenge in Avebury today, but there were probably sites that were more important, more interesting, bigger. They're just gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shap Avenue.
I always... Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think about this in terms of cities as well, even in the Near East. The city of Agade, for example, nobody's ever found it. If they actually found the city of Agade, where Sargon of Akkad had his court, allegedly, it might be even more impressive than and Nippur and some of the Sumerian cities that we have.
Yeah, exactly. And if that had been dug in the 1980s, in the 1880s, and there was a big sort of flurry of excitement in the antiquarian world, that'd be a huge tourist site by now.
That'd be the one. That'd be the big one.
It'd be talked about endlessly.
I suppose another good example is the Maya cities, because every so often a new Maya city will be found, and it'll be like, oh, this one is bigger than all of these other ones that have been iconic for 200 years.
Yes, exactly. It's just a question of whether in 200 years that site that's just been discovered might turn into one of those, like Shimal.
Yep.
Who knows?
Absolutely. Right, where are we going?
Which segues perfectly into...
What have I got us? All right. It's not necessarily a great segue, but we mentioned Silbury Hill earlier. I'm going to talk about a place that is a little bit like Silbury Hill, but in Peru. So this is on the coast of Peru. This is next to the Moche site of El Brujo, which means the wizard. But El Brujo, a big Moche pyramid, a bit like a Maya pyramid. There we go, there's the segue. The Moche are a bit like the Maya because they also built pyramids and they were around about the same time.
Perfect.
The Moche built their pyramid next to a pyramid that had already been there for 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years.
Wow.
And it's called Huaca Prieta. And it's right on the ocean. And the people who built it were primarily fisher folk. So let's get here's the good image of it. And they still are primarily fisher folk. So you can see El Brujo in the background, actually. That's the Moche pyramid. This is Huaca Prieta.
Wow,
that's
amazing.
It's massive. Dug by an American called Junius Bird in the 1940s. It is one of these sites where no one's really known what to make of it because it's really weird, because it's very early. It's earlier than most other... Well, not necessarily now, because a lot of earlier sites have also been discovered in Peru. But for a long time, it was one of the earliest sites ever found in Peru. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like much. It looks like a big mound. It would have been much better shaped in the past. It's crumbled away and fallen apart. And anytime it rains, a bit more of it gets taken away. But interestingly, I'm interested in the very earliest layers, because a lot of archaeologists now think that it probably began as a tip.
As all good things do.
Yeah, this is basically a refuse pile. So this is like a midden.
Is it a tell?
No, because people... Well, it's kind of a tell in the sense that there's construction on top of construction on top of construction. Yeah, it is a tell in a way. People weren't really living on it, though, is what it seems. People were living around
like a midden, yeah.
It's more like a midden. It's like a Silbury Hill, because they're not... It's a gradually made Silbury Hill. People aren't living on it. What they're doing is sort of like building their rubbish up for a long time in the very early days. So, yeah, it just makes me think, you go far back enough, what is the distinction between a big pile of rubbish and a monument?
I've got one of those in my kitchen where my recycling is.
And give it 2,000 years... Because pretty much what it seems like, they're putting their rubbish on top of it. And a similar thing happens in completely the other side of the world, but in Japan they have these things called shell middens, where they start off just piling rubbish on top, and then eventually at a certain point somebody thinks, let's put this body in there. Yes. And then 2 generations later they're like, that's where Grandad's buried.
Yeah, we get that in Cumbria too. We get those, yeah,
Ah,
you get clearance cairns with secondary burials in them.
there we go.
But
And
quite
then,
often, this might be the case here. Quite often, it's
yeah,
because you kind of assume they might have thought it was a Neolithic burial that they're putting their bodies in.
yeah, yeah, could be, could be. There's history ascribed to it, is what it seems. They've ascribed history to it.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I just like the idea that someone's put someone in there, not necessarily thinking that it was going to be a religious site eventually, but then it becomes a religious site.
You just lob grandma in the rubbish and
Yeah, kind
later
of.
on
Yeah,
find a body.
very well up then. Just Bob starts smelling bad, so they're like, right, let's get rid of Bob. Let's put Bob in there,
Stick
and
in
then
the Shelmadon.
2 generations later, Bob's descendants think that's where Granddad was, and then it becomes this important place, and then eventually, many generations later, it turns into a big temple. It turns into like a big religious site.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite things. It's the messy happenstance.
That's
history.
the thing. Yeah, it wasn't a planned place necessarily. It just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened that
Ritual
way.
as circumstance.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I think this is a good way of looking at ritual, actually, because it is ritual, but it's not like it's this big, planned, grand, ritualistic thing. It's just the ritual of like,
100%,
let's dump our
yes.
rubbish there every weekend. Which is a ritual. If you do it, if you just do something every day, it can be a ritual. I have a ritual of having a coffee every morning. What's that?
I think that's how Middlesbrough started.
Yeah, just dumping your rubbish, exactly. Then eventually a town grows up around it. Yeah. But yeah, my ritual is a coffee. Before one of these streams, I'll have a coffee. That's a ritual. Yeah.
Oh, I love that though. That's great. So is that's the younger one? The one in the background's the older? Is it the other way around?
Other way around. The one in the background is
That's the younger.
El Brujo, the wizard, which is
I see.
first millennium AD, and that's kind of, it would have been like a Maya pyramid back in the day, but it's made of adobe, so it crumbles away and it looks like a big pile of just mud today.
Nothing.
Unfortunately, would have been covered in all sorts of elaborate friezes and artistic works. This would have been more standardized, but still kind of a big pile of earth because it's very old.
Yeah.
And the people who made it, they're not urban really. They're just. This is kind of like their church or their cathedral, but they generally live quite scattered existences along this coast, and they're coming here for certain times of the year to do things. And yeah, they're not agriculturalists yet. They're fisher folk. But that's another interesting thing about Peru. Peru's weird because fishing seems to be part of the origins of civilization. It seems to be not necessarily agriculture, like in most places in the world. They get much of their subsistence from fishing.
Right. Yeah, that is really interesting, isn't it? Really
It's the maritime hypothesis of... I mean, it's controversial. A lot of people don't believe in it, but it's sort of like 50-50 amongst archaeologists. There's a guy... Do you know what? His name escapes me, but he came up... Michael Mosley. He came up with it in the 1970s, and it's debated ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there isn't one way to skin a cat. Civilizations don't necessarily rise, and the Neolithic doesn't necessarily rise solely from agriculture.
Well,
and also it doesn't anyway, because things creep in. There has to be
right.
a transition point where it becomes possible to even invent agriculture.
That's right, yeah. And we're seeing this more and more, like with discovery of places like Göbekli Tepe. It's not this hard and fast hunter-gatherers, then civilization. It's like you can have civilization in inverted commas. It's a loaded term because it can mean whatever you want it to mean, but you can have that in a hunter-gatherer society.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't look at Göbekli Tepe and think these guys are not civilized with inverted commas because they're making all the trappings.
Just pop the word proto on it. We'll be fine.
Yeah, proto-civilization. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it's just. I mean, it just changes how we see hunter-gatherers. I mean, if the Neolithic's going to come about and people are going to invent agriculture, they need to be in a pretty good place. So something needs to have happened prior to that. Absolutely. It doesn't just happen magically.
I like these terms that are like affluent hunter-gatherers, complex hunter-gatherers. Yeah, totally. And I should say, the Hopewell for a long time was seen as hunter-gatherers. It's now thought that they're called horticulturalists, because they're not quite just hunter-gathering. They're sort of managing their environment, but they're kind of gardening more than necessarily having big crops and big fields of crops.
Well, one of the earliest ones is forestry. I mean, that's
Yes.
something that people forget about, is that people were coppicing trees well
Hack
into
down those forests, burn those forests down.
You burn them down, you coppice them so you can make tools with the branches and things. That was an early form of, is that horticulture?
Yeah,
It's
horticulture. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And this is
Horticulture,
early.
so
This is early Britain as well. I mean, this is like Cursus Monument period, isn't it? The first sort of 1,000 years of the Neolithic.
Prior to that, I mean, you've got
Yeah.
polished
even
axes
before.
going back into the Mesolithic, so it's.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, these are
tricky.
Victorian terms, aren't they? Neolithic,
exactly,
Mesolithic,
exactly,
and
yeah.
Paleolithic. There's
One
no
of my
hard and
favourites.
fast between them.
One of my
What's that?
favourites. Sorry to keep jumping back to Neolithic Britain, but one
No,
of my
no,
favourites
that's-
in Neolithic Britain is the mid to late Neolithic, and then the early Neolithic. Really, we should have totally different terms for those two things.
They're completely
'Cause
different,
They're
aren't they?
completely different.
Yeah, yeah. Something happens around about 3,000 BC, and everything's just different afterwards. Is what it seems. Is that
Yeah,
right? Is
yeah.
that 3,000 BC? Would you say round about?
I say 3,200 because it
3,200,
sounds more
yeah.
exact, but 3,000
Yeah.
will do. Yeah.
But round about that time, yeah, everything is different, isn't it?
It's I see that. Actually, I don't want to go on a tangent. If you want to move on,
Well, where are we going next?
we could go to. I mean, I want to keep it international. To be honest, I'm enjoying
Yeah.
it. I've got the Ziratkul Moose, Ziratkul, which is in the Ural Mountains of Russia.
Oh yes,
I'm going to war zones for some reason. I'm drawn to them.
we're just going to war zones. Oh, actually, this is nice, actually, because this is a little bit like Serpent Mound in Ohio, because this is a big sort of effigy, sort of geoglyph type
Have
thing.
you
is what
heard
it
of
looks like
this?
to me. No.
Well, this is more of a story than a site.
Okay.
But it's very interesting.
You're going to tell me
interesting.
it's fake, aren't you?
No.
Did you make this?
This was a little project I had going on a few years ago where I built the world's largest geoglyph.
yeah.
Something similar to that happened, but let me just get you started on the basics.
Yeah.
In 2011, a park ranger called Alexander Shistokov, I think his name was scanning over the maps, and he happened upon this. And he was like, what the hell is that? And he banded it around a few archaeologists in the area, and they said, oh, we have megaliths, like megalithic sites in this area. We have dolmens, we have evidence of burials. That might just be a geoglyph. So in 2012, a guy called Dr. Stanislav Grigoriev, I think his name was, again, he went and dug it, and he found it dated to somewhere around 3,600 BC, making it the world's oldest geoglyph. And not only that, it was the world's largest geoglyph. And it was found deep into the Ural Mountains of Russia, which is, if you know a map, the middle of nowhere. It's pretty
About
much
as far from the ocean
Yeah.
as you can get, really, isn't it?
pretty much as far from anything as you can get, unless you're like swimming in the Pacific. So it's middle of nowhere. The fact it was even found is a miracle. So yeah, just audience participation time. What do you think of that?
It's insane, and this goes back to, what was it, survivor bias, or what the term that you used in archaeology? Because it's like, what else is out there? The hell,
Yeah,
man!
exactly,
What's this doing? What's going on here? This is crazy. It reminds me a little bit, actually, of all the crazy stuff coming out of the Amazon rainforest, because that's another
Yes,
area
it's
where
very similar. Yes.
nobody had, well, a few archaeologists had an inkling that there might be such things in
Yeah,
the
Graham
forest,
Hancock.
and they've been. I'm thinking more actual archaeologists. There's a guy called Michael Heckenberger, and who else is there? Anna Roosevelt and people like this. I've been doing some research on this, actually. I've got a video coming up eventually on the Amazon rainforest. But basically, they were vindicated in the last 20, 30 years, by LiDAR and things like this.
Well, they
and
got called
deforestation.
geoglyphs. They got called geoglyphs originally.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think,
Well,
by the way,
acre.
can I just say I was joking about Graham Hancock first of
No,
all.
yeah,
But I think
possibly.
he describes them as geoglyphs.
They are. Well,
which
the
they aren't.
acre geoglyphs are. There's loads in the Amazon, absolutely loads. But yeah, one of the most famous things that was found were a bunch of geoglyphs. Interestingly, just to link it to everything else we've spoken about, they look a bit like henges. They're a bit
Well, yeah, that's
earthworky.
what I'm saying. I don't think they are, because geoglyphs are...
Then maybe not geoglyphs.
They're
Yeah.
art, whereas I think
Yes.
they were originally thought to be geoglyphs.
They're
and
called
they're
geoglyphs still.
They're
but
more like
yeah.
the Newark Earthworks you were showing
Yes,
earlier.
exactly. They're
They're
very
actually very
'cause-
similar.
Yeah, Brad Lepper got very excited when I mentioned this to him because he was like, "They're the same." It's really similar, and they're really similar to Britain as well. It's bonkers. I love it. You go back far enough.
We're
everyone's
missing
the same.
comparative analysis between these things. We should really do comparative analysis.
Yeah.
There should be more
Absolutely,
crossover with...
Absolutely.
American
I mean, this is what I try and do. I'm trying to compare all these sites because they're really similar. I'm not saying there's a big whatever Graham Hancock thinks. It's just that people do similar
There is,
things.
there's an innate... The more you
Yeah.
learn about anthropology, and I'm really annoying about this, but I think the less interesting it is, because you start seeing that people everywhere are doing very similar things,
Yep.
and it goes
yep.
back like 100,000 years.
So long. Yeah,
People
exactly.
are people. It doesn't matter where you are on Earth.
Exactly.
People are people.
There's this early incipient phase of like horticulture type thing. People make these big ceremonial sites. Eventually, after a while, when proper agriculture comes in, kings come in, everything goes a bit terrible for a while. Private property comes in. There's haves and have-nots, and yeah, there's just similar patterns go on throughout history wherever you are.
Yes, it's not cyclical. It's just that human
No.
beings are wired a certain way.
It seems like it. It does. And to be honest,
War never changes. It's like, it's always going to happen.
yeah.
Civilizations
The sad thing
rise
is
and fall.
we're wired to be taken advantage of. Is the sad thing, it seems to me, because kings tend to rise,
Rave.
and and when kings arise, someone's having a bad time.
Yeah, we're very hierarchical.
Yes.
We're a hierarchical
Yes.
species.
Yes. That's right. But the interesting thing is, the earliest places, it's hierarchical, but in a different way. It seems to be spiritually hierarchical, is what it seems to me.
Maybe.
But I don't know.
I'm
Maybe.
very sceptical about that.
Are you? Do you think Stonehenge was made by kings?
We don't know what they were doing at Stonehenge. They might be eating babies in the centre of
Yeah,
it.
they may
It
well
could be
have been.
horrible.
Could
There's a very like
probably.
I think a lot of that stuff comes from a certain crowd of archaeologists who, around a certain time period, made up this idea of like the utopian Neolithic
hippies.
The hippie generation came about and basically said, "Oh, they were having a lovely time in all these places."
That's right.
Human beings
Yeah,
are
yeah.
human beings.
Yep.
No matter where you are, they're being horrible.
That's right. Someone's being taken advantage of, for sure.
Somewhere,
Yes.
someone's
Yes.
being,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, sorry.
We've gone on a
let's talk
tangent,
about
but
the-
this is it's a good tangent. It's a
Do you
good
want to talk about the
tangent.
moose?
Let's talk about the moose.
This is the Zarat-Kul moose, and like I say, it was discovered in 2011. And very quickly, a article was written for Nature, so the big one, claiming this was both the largest and oldest geoglyph in the world. So it's something like twice the size of the largest Nazca line.
Wow. Okay.
Something like 4 times the size of the biggest geoglyph in Britain, White Horse. So it's massive. But there are some cracks in the old story, because do you want to flip to the other image, actually, just so I can show you what?
I thought you might say there are some cracks.
Yeah, there are some severe cracks. You might notice on this one, the moose is standing the right way up. You see how his feet are pointing south? In the image, or down.
Yes.
That's not how it is on the hill. It's actually upside down. So the moose isn't quite. It's sort of like a dead moose in real life. It's lying on its back.
Dead upside down moose.
Dead upside down moose. Yeah. So that's crack number 1. Crack number 2 is if you. Sorry to make this. Can you flip to the other image again?
Yeah.
Notice how there isn't a weird tail on that one. Notice there's a strange tail coming off it, leading to a track.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest indication that this isn't necessarily prehistoric. And that's because this imagery is from 2007. The imagery that he looked at was from 2011, when it looked a lot more ancient. So it turns out that in 2003, one man, using boulders from a scree pile on that hill, had demarcated a track for his students, skiing students,
Oh, right.
And he alone accidentally created the world's largest geoglyph over the
That's
course
incredible.
of a year, to the point where Nature magazine published the results.
I mean, that is incredible on so many
It's,
levels.
it's also incredible because
Was he aware?
he came out like 10 years afterwards. After it had been in the Western media and things, it was published in Russian. And as far as I know, I'm the first person to talk about it. I made a YouTube video about it because I was like, oh, I remember this thing about this moose. And there's loads of articles about it in Russian, but nothing in English. But it came out.
Hilarious.
It wasn't a hoax. It was just mistaken. But archaeologists went there. This Grigoriev went there and dug it up and found tools, and he found datable evidence, and he dated it to 3,600 BC.
Wow.
But it just goes to show, like, I mean, we talk about things like the Nazca Lines. We talk about these things being like impossible monuments.
Yeah.
One man created this on a hillside in the middle of the Ural Mountains.
Yeah.
So things can happen that look unbelievable.
To be honest, I mean, the Nazca Lines, having been there, it's like they're not they are incredible, of course, but they're not extraordinary. There's nothing mysterious about them, for me anyway, because you see that all it takes is moving one bit of earth away from another bit of earth, and you can make one. You can make one with your bare hands.
Yeah.
You know, they're not these extraordinary things.
It's incredible archaeology, but it's not impossible archaeology.
It's not impossible. That's the thing. Yeah. It's like they're very possible to make, and people do a lot of mad things, like this bloke.
Yeah.
And also, there's nothing religious or spiritual about this, is there? It's
you
just
can actually tell looking at it that's a ski trail because it's going up and down with those.
Yeah.
It's clearly to train students in different forms of run.
Yeah. That's mad, isn't it?
And it doesn't look it doesn't. If you actually look at it, it looks nothing like a moose. I don't know who came up with that.
It doesn't really.
Yeah.
We're pattern recognizing animals, though, aren't we? We like to see a pattern. So if someone's looked at that and he's thought, oh, this would be a great, piece of research. Unless he knew that it was bogus.
Well, I don't want to slag off Grigoriev, but he has a few articles out there that are a little bit dodge, to be honest. But yes, that's the story of the Ziratkul moose.
That's a good one. I like that.
One of my favourite things learning about that was that in Russia they do paraglider surveys. I thought it was very Soviet.
Oh, really? That is
paraglider surveys. Yeah.
You don't have to waste any money on fuel. Okay. We are going to go to... Where should we go?
Drum roll, please.
All right, we'll go to Syria. We'll go to Syria. Another war zone. That's the connection. Although not quite a war zone anymore. The war has ended now. And maybe.
Can I say, by the way, I think Dan Davis from YouTube is in the chat. So I just want to say hello to
Shout out Dan Davis, the legend. Dan, you've got to come and do a stream with me. He's shy. I've been trying to get him to do one. just calling him out publicly. Dan Davis, great channel, everyone. Great channel. One of the greats. This is Tel Qaramel. I'm sure Dan Davis probably knows all about this. Have you heard of Tel Qaramel?
Oh, me?
Yes.
So I just assumed you were talking to Dan Davis for some reason.
Whenever
anyone talks to me, I assume they're talking to Dan Davis. So. No, I haven't heard of this. Tel Qaramel.
Tel Qaramel. Very tasty sounding name.
It does sound good.
I think caramel is an Arabic word. Tel Qaramel is a tell, funnily enough.
Tell me more.
Nice.
That's terrible.
Oh, here we go. Yes, I do have a picture of it. I've got a terrible, grainy picture of it. This is it. So it's a tell. It's a settlement basically built up over thousands and thousands of years. When Polish archaeologists dug this in the early 21st century, so the 2000s, they were very confused to find some of the earliest evidence of agricultural people anywhere in the world. This is older than Göbekli Tepe. It's contemporary, if not a little bit earlier, than Jericho. So Jericho is this. I don't know if you know anything about this, but Jericho.
I know about Jericho.
Yeah, most people. I think Jericho is kind of like a popular sort of thing because it's in the Bible, but it's the later Bronze Age city of Jericho that's in the Bible. Its origins are in this pre-pottery Neolithic phase when wheat is being harnessed and sheep or goat and sheep, they're basically the same thing at this point, but they're being domesticated. So early animal and plant agriculture is going on at this place. But the weirdest thing about Tel Qaramel is that there are these giant towers.
I thought you were going to say it's because it tastes horrible.
Yeah, it tastes awful. Well, it would taste awful. If you tried to eat some of this, it wouldn't be very nice.
Really surprising.
Yeah. But yeah, there's these 5 massive towers which can only be described as monumental. You might know about the Tower of Jericho.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
The Tower of Jericho is the famous bit at Jericho, basically. There's this one tower that's been found so far. It's weird. It's a big thing. It's kind of like a granary, maybe, or lots of people think it might be defensive. There's all sorts of ideas of what it could be.
That's
Nobody
a
really
photo.
knows.
It's a photo only an archaeologist could appreciate that, because look how deep it's buried. It's
Look at that
crazy.
stratigraphy.
The stratigraphy
Yes.
is amazing.
Yeah, it's so deep. It's so deep. Yeah, when you think that the bit at the top is like, Roman, so the bit at the top is 2,000 years old, and then you go deeper, Bronze Age, Iron Age, Bronze Age, early Bronze Age, then there's like thousands of years of Neolithic, then you finally get to this at the bottom, 10,000 BC kind of thing, very end of the last ice age. And Tel Qaramel is even earlier. Nobody knew it existed because it's not in the Bible. So no one had tried to dig it. Many of these places are biblical, so people tried to dig there because they're looking for like evidence of the Bible in the early 20th century. This place had none of that.
Wow.
But yeah, it's super weird. I mean, this is
When was this
towers.
dug? Sorry.
Recently, so in the 2000s,
Right.
by a Polish team. Unfortunately, when civil war broke out in 2011, digs came to an end, and I don't believe that they have restarted again. So this is ripe for more study, and hopefully soon it will resume. Now that the war has ended.
So there's
I don't know what the situation's like there.
There was an image there where there was a ruinous town next to it. Is that archaeological, do you know? Or is that...
The one from the sky, to be honest.
Yeah, because obviously these things are sort of palimpsest landscapes.
I think that is actually relatively modern, because what they do is they build from mud brick in many of these areas still.
Totally are, actually,
So this is like 1700s earliest, I would think, because having been to this region, most of if you go to the traditional sort of old towns, like you go to a Shap here.
It's actually like Shimal. That
yes,
talk about.
it's made of mud
very
brick.
similar settlements next to that.
And to be honest, there are tells like this all over the place. Many of them completely unexcavated. So there's going to be stuff like this everywhere, and it's just a matter of time digging through them. But yeah, the Polish archaeologists who worked here found kind of exactly what you want to find, which is it's a bit like the moose that we talked about earlier, but real, because it's like a really weird thing, but real, because they are the earliest, as far as I'm aware, Neolithic towers. And this is a type of monument that there's only a handful of. I mean, Jericho, the Tower of Jericho is the most famous, but I've got a reproduction of what they would have looked something like this. So what the hell's going on here? Why are people making these?
Why?
Really early as well.
Presumably that's the same sort of typology as the Tower at Jericho as well? Or some kind of continuation, presumably?
They've been lumped together.
But might not be.
Might not be, because the work at Tel Qaramel was halted, I think like mid-dig season almost, because war broke out, so they had to quickly leave the country.
I like the little lizard man they've put on there. Sort of like David Icke archaeology.
It's an alien, yeah. It's very strange. I made this earlier.
Reptilian.
Yeah. Exactly. This is where the reptilian overlords began, at the towers of Tel Qaramel, yeah. We don't know why they made it so primitive. But what was I going to say? Yeah, maybe a granary. I think a granary could be a good shout, possibly, to maybe keep your food above ground, away from rodents. Don't know. But it could double up as a watchtower, could double up as a temple platform, something like this, like an early form of a ziggurat to get closer to the heavens.
You want it to be something like
religious sort of
defence or ritual.
Yeah.
The granary
Well,
sort of brings it down a peg.
Yeah. But I mean, to be honest, it could
Still
be all
very
these
cool. I mean,
things.
architecturally, it's very interesting. It's so early.
It looks monumental. I mean, it's,
Yes.
for lack of a better word, I'll probably keep throwing the word this is a thing about monuments anyway, so it looks monumental. It's bigger than it needs to be, really. I mean, well, we'd actually don't know what it's for, but it's big. Considering this is a relatively small scale society, only a community of maybe a few hundred people, you know, what are they and 5 of them as well.
I think
Five of
if
these
anything,
things.
it shows how much of archaeology or world history is marketing. Because
Oh,
why
it
is this
is.
not as known as Jericho?
It is.
You know,
marketing,
I've never heard
100%.
of this.
It's
ever.
marketing. Well, the Jericho Tower. The reason why we know about it, yeah, as we say, it's the Bible. You know, that John Garstang and then Kathleen Kenyon,
Of
they
course,
were
yeah.
they were marketing themselves because they were looking for things in the Bible. It's easy to sell. Something like this, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's not more famous. I mean,
So it's just when
probably
it's too recently dug for people.
it's too recently dug to
I mean, it
know
took Göbekli
exactly.
Tepe 20 years to
Yeah,
see
exactly.
any kind of interest.
Exactly. And Göbekli Tepe is still available to dig at. The issue is here, it's a very volatile region. It's not far from, I think, Aleppo. Could be wrong there, but it's not far from the war zone. Well, it was in the war zone. You know, it was absolutely ravaged by war, this whole region. 15 years of war. So, I mean, I hope that the site is still there. You know, I don't know what it's like.
Hopefully
now.
buried deep enough.
Hopefully they were able to fill it back in to be dug at a future point, but I don't know. If anybody knows in the comments, let us know. Or does anybody dig at Tel Qaramel? Do we have the dig leader here at all? You know.
Anybody speaking Polish in the comments?
Yeah,
can,
anyone speak Polish? Yeah. I mean, maybe it might be because they were Polish as well. That might be one of the reasons it's not been very widely distributed.
Yeah, true. I mean, if they publish in... it's fascinating, though. That's...
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
So there you go. And the
We're
dates.
doing well here for things we don't know. I don't know what you tell him. You don't know
Yeah.
what I'm telling you.
I could just be making it all up, couldn't I? The dates are approximately, it says here, 10,650 to 9,650 BCE. So that's nearly 13,000 years ago.
I mean, that's Göbekli Tepe time.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's the equivalent of a Göbekli Tepe. Sort of. I mean, yeah. Is there any link to Göbekli Tepe, this place? Probably not. Probably just completely different. But maybe they were using the same form of wheat. Maybe they were using some of the same animals and things that were moving around this area. Because obsidian...
Societies sort of pull each other up, don't they?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
the
what-
best of each one sort of irks the other one
Yeah,
up over time,
yeah,
even if the
yeah.
culture doesn't swap.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. And because maybe individuals would move about, you know, because obsidian is the thing that moves quite far and wide at this time. You see obsidian networks all over the place. So I always think maybe there were individuals going from place to place, spreading ideas and things. But yeah,
I mean, they must do. I mean, we know they do. To be fair, that's
yeah.
that's amazing though.
So that's a cool one. I like that one,
That's really good.
and I want more research to be done. Please do some more research there, people.
Yeah, that's always the difficult thing. Is just always wanting more from the archaeologist.
The towers of Tel Qaramel, and as you see, yeah, look, that is deep.
Yes, and presumably that's not. Is that the base of the thing? Do you know, or are we sort of midway down?
That's
or?
the top. It's the top of the tower.
That's the top of the tower.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh wow. So that really is huge potential for archaeology then.
But as far as I'm aware, yeah, it was really cut short.
That's
So it's one of these
amazing.
things
That's
they were hoping to keep working there for years to come, you know, but it's been cut short.
Wow.
I spoke to a guy a couple of years ago actually who he used to work in Syrian archaeology as well, and he was quite down really because it sort of just wrecked his career in a way because he had this career in digging sites in Syria, and he'd learnt how to, you know, navigate that environment, and then all goes to shit.
That's not
So-
the one to choose, is it? Syrian
Yeah.
archaeology
Yeah.
in the 21st century. That's that's very unfortunate.
Yeah. But this is the thing; it's not one to choose. But at the same time, so many of the most incredible things in archaeology are going on in Syria.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I suppose it'll presume.
You'd hope.
You'd hope, yeah.
I just hope that the government at the moment is gonna be okay. I hope that it doesn't go back to war, because it could flare.
At least for the sake of archaeology, we need to stabilise. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm only interested in archaeology.
Well, yeah.
I don't mean that. Don't
For the sake of this
quote me on
granary
that.
tower, we really just need it to calm down over there.
Yes. Obviously, I care about the people as well. But yeah. I believe that is everything I was going to talk about there. So let's go back onto your one. I'm actually going to go. I'm going to go and have a quick rest break, actually, but I'll leave you talking about this so we don't have any dead air. I've actually got a toilet right there, so
we're just out in the open.
I'm in my office, so I've got like a little. I've got a little outside shed in the garden, basically.
You're in your bathroom.
It's like the TARDIS. So it's from the outside it looks like a tiny shed, but from the inside it's like a cathedral in there. It's great.
Is that where you filmed your video on AI you just recently did?
Yeah. That's my new
office.
The rafters.
That looks really nice.
There's a second level up at the top. Yeah, it needs a bit of work in here because there's no ladder to get up to the top, so I have to use just like a really dodgy, rickety old one. I think I'm going to die every time I go up there. But because I moved house last year and then moved into this studio. I'm going to do like a studio tour at some point, but I haven't got around to it. I mean, I'm struggling to make actual history videos, so I really shouldn't be fannying around making a studio tour, should I?
I think everyone gets to that point at some point when they just I want to make this. I'll do it anyway.
I'm nearly in this for 10 years, so
I've only been in this for a year and a half, and I'm already like, I'll make a video about post-processualism because I want to.
Oh, you should definitely do that. Yeah. Speaking of post-processual, you must know Ian Hodder, right?
Yeah, Ian Hodder, the Hodster.
I'm speaking to him next week.
Are you actually?
Yeah. He's the biggest name that I've managed to pull. I'm very excited.
That's amazing. Say hi from me.
I will do. I sent him an email on a whim.
I'm a big fan.
On a whim, and he really seems like a really nice bloke. He responded, so yeah.
Cool.
Turns out you can just randomly email people, and sometimes they do respond.
I suppose archaeology is such a small world. Everyone seems elevated, and they're just sort of normal people.
Yeah. There are certain sort of big names in the archaeological world, but yeah, I think most people don't necessarily know.
He's a controversial figure for some.
For some, yeah. Well, he's certainly changed archaeology as we know it.
He tried to. I think things have sort of gone back even more extreme processual in recent years.
Maybe they have, yeah. I like a bit of post-processualism, though.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's my bread and butter.
Yeah. Interesting that you say it's gone back a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to be discussing this with him.
It's sort of like. I mean, American archaeology is certainly very processualist, especially when they're sort of combating pseudo-archaeology.
Very sciencey, yeah, exactly.
Has to be like super sciencey.
Yeah.
Archaeology is a hard science.
Yes. I'm in the middle somewhere. I think it should be scientific, but I think there's got to be a certain amount of. I don't know. You've got to have a little bit of
interpretism. Yeah, exactly.
It's
I just made a video about this. Funnily enough, my last video was about this.
Oh, I spotted that actually. Is that what
it had a very clickbait title of like, "Is archaeology actually a science?"
Yeah.
But no one watched it because it was too. It's like you get too academic sometimes.
Yeah.
And people are like, "What is this all about?"
But the archaeologists will enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Or hate.
You've got to have those videos where it's a bit niche, but your fans like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, where are we going next? I'm going to leave you chatting for a second, and I'm going to nip off and come back.
Do you want to do? Well, I want to actually tell you about Kirk Hammerton, so let's do the Millon Lines.
All right. I'll still be listening.
Oh, we won't be able to hear you, like.
No, you won't be able to hear me, but you can talk. You can keep talking. I won't be long anyway.
Okay.
This is your rite of initiation. This is your baptism of fire. I'm off now.
Right, everyone, this is my audition for taking over History Time.
Is now History Time.
Yes, this is the new History Time. Welcome, everybody, to the new History Time, which is primarily going to be talking about Cumbrian prehistory. And Cumbrian prehistory alone, because it's all that matters. And what you're seeing here on screen really is one of the finest slices of Cumbrian prehistory there is to find. Because what you're seeing, my fellow audience, my peers, is the Giant's Grave, which is a fantastic duo of standing stones found on the Cumbrian coast. It's just occurred to me that I can't change the photo, and this is the least important of the photos. But for now, I want you all just to enjoy looking at these standing stones and the mountain beyond them, which is Black Combe, which is one of the most notable mountains on the western British coast, the western coast of Great Britain there, which is, if you're in Northern Ireland, you can actually see it on a good day from across the Irish Sea. And, he's back, thank God.
Interesting that it's called the Giant's Grave, because I was recently at a place called the Giant's Grave in Cornwall, actually. You get Giant's Graves all over the place.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those ones, yeah.
Giant's
Was
Grave
it actually a
in Cornwall.
grave?
No, it's not a grave at all.
No, this one's not a grave
actually,
either.
It's a linear earthwork. It's an earthwork that was made probably in the post-Roman period to divide one area of Cornwall from another area. And it's
Really?
massive. Yeah. It goes from Penzance all the way up to about halfway between Penzance and the northern coast. And then the rest of it doesn't exist anymore, but there's hypothetical routes that it might have originally taken. So it may have,
I'll tell you
sort of
who'd love that.
off.
Paul Whitewick.
Oh,
That's his. He'd love that.
He loves his bread and butter. Yeah, linear earthworks. He's the man.
Yes, he's the linear earthwork king.
Yeah.
I'm sure
absolutely.
he'd love that title, actually. Don't give him that.
He is the linear earthwork king. Yeah, he is. Okay, so we've got the Giant's Grave standing stones.
You've seen the Giant's Grave standing stones. They sit there. Actually, do you want to flick to... I've got one of a crop mark. It's one of my drone photos. I was very lucky to catch it on a day where you've got a crop mark.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at that.
Those nice shadows. Oh, yeah.
This is a site that I have dubbed, because people haven't researched this, but up the coast of northwest England, there are a chain of about 6 to 8 what appear to be crop mark henges with huge stone circles in them. Again, completely ploughed away and lost, but they appear as crop marks. And this is one of them, next to the Giant's Grave. So those two standing stones you saw earlier are the only surviving part of one of the largest ritual landscapes in Great Britain. But you wouldn't know that if you just visited those. You'd think, they should put some standing stones here, and they're aligned northeast to southwest. That's marking the summer solstice sunrise, yada, yada, yada. But if you switch to the diagram map that I've provided you there, you can see that they actually sit between two massive probable henge enclosures. So, could it be that those are part of a megalithic avenue between those two henges?
Oh, it looks like it, doesn't it?
It does look like it, doesn't it? And that's not even the largest henge complex of this chain of henges. If you flip to the black and white photo in the collection, there's one called Summer Hill near the town of Bootle, which is, you can't really see it by this, but that is one of the largest henges in the British Isles, and there are two of them conjoined with those inner, can you see they've got like inner little dots around its circumference?
Yes.
Can you just about make that out?
Place where stones would be?
Probably a place where stones would be. Again, it's something very similar to Avebury.
It's like Avebury, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like Avebury, yeah.
Is it anything like Thornborough Henges?
No, I mean, the Thornborough henges, well, I mean, they're all very similar, but the Thornborough henges are like, the last one I'm going to talk about is in the Thornborough landscape, so you'll...
Oh, is it? Okay.
You'll learn a little bit
there.
But
get to that in a moment. I only say that because it's like a conjoined... There's a couple of them. Actually, again, it's a bit like the Newark Earthworks, isn't it? Cause
it is like the Newark. That one actually does look a lot like the Newark Earthworks, because it's a bit octagonal, the one on the left. But it's the inner stones with a henge around them. I mean, name them. Where are they? You've got the Devil's Quoits. You've got Stonehenge with its blue stones. You've got Avebury. You've got the Ring of Brodgar. Where else is there? It's a very rare style of monument, and all those that are known are very sort of well respected by archaeologists, and they get a lot of buzz.
Well, it's like they're two different things put together, aren't they? They've taken,
exactly.
It seems like to me anyway. They've taken two things and just stuck them on top of each other.
Yes. I think it's what Aubrey Burl called a circle henge.
There we go.
it's got its own little name, but it's a bit of a BS typology. That it's just it's what I'd call a Cumbrian circle.
Well, it's good marketing, though, isn't it? Aubrey Burl knew how to do good marketing.
Aubrey Burl was an absolute legend. If people want to know about stone circles, A, buy Cumbria's Prehistoric Monuments by Adam Morgan Ibbotson, and B, buy Aubrey Burl's The Stone Circles of the British Isles, I think it's called, or Great Britain and Ireland. I think Pete's off to find his copy. Hey, there you go. That's the one. That is the one as well. Yeah,
just using this the other day, actually. I've got a nice little collection of sort of archaeological travel guides. I need to add yours to the collection, actually.
You're getting it. The History Press is sending you a copy, allegedly.
Oh, yes. Yeah, man. Awesome. Because, yeah, this is great. It's just, comprehensive. It's got the locations of everything, a little bit of a description of all of them. Yeah.
It's somewhat comprehensive. It's missing quite a few my local area,
yeah.
But if you want a general overview and like a good idea of the, I think he gets the chronology absolutely spot on for stone circles. They begin in Ireland, drift over to sort of southern Scotland into Cumbria, and then sort of populate the whole.
Because it's Brittany and
Welsh
Ireland
marches.
as well.
Yes,
I think he wrote this in 1995. So things have changed a bit since then.
I think the original was 1979.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
This is the revised version.
Yeah.
But
very good book.
Legend.
But anyway, yes, this is it's one of the biggest henge and stone circle complexes, and there are 7 of them on the Cumbrian coast, all ploughed away. But if they survived, would we be talking about the UNESCO site of the Millon Lines?
Well, we should, yes.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yes. we should be anyway. The UNESCO's a weird one, though, isn't it? Because you get certain UNESCO sites where they're not actually that impressive compared to, I don't know, things that should be UNESCO sites. But it's a little bit political. It's a little bit sort of
It's very political. It's very. There's a whole. I mean, each country pays to have it, and there's a very lopsided number of them, depending on how much money a nation has.
Yes.
I work in internet. That's what my job is. I work in international UNESCO sites.
Do you? Do you work for UNESCO?
No, I work for a consultancy that specialises in UNESCO. We're doing ones for the UAE at the moment, but I'm also doing Brunei Boyne at the moment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
cool.
very good job I've got. It's very interesting.
Yeah. That sounds really interesting. It's nice to have. I mean, there's obviously crossover with your YouTube work, which is nice. Yeah.
But yes, sorry, go on.
No, you go on. I was just going to ramble on about what you want to do in the. I mean, because you're doing a PhD, so would your ideal to become a professor, like become a lecturer, or
not really?
No.
I mean, the universities are kind of cringeworthy to be.
I love that you're. It seems like you're doing it purely because you want to know, which is awesome. Like you want the knowledge.
I'm a funded student, so I actually get paid to do my PhD.
Oh, mate, that's banging.
It's banging, yeah. So I do part time and get paid for the PhD. And
who pays for that then?
The University of York has a funding body. So.
Fantastic! There you go.
But yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, that's the Millon Lines. If you want to know more about them, look on Google Maps at a place called Millon.
Yeah.
And a place called Kirk Hammerton, and you can actually see them. You can just scan up that coast and see loads of crop marks. Very, very interesting place. That one especially, at the Giant's Grave, is it might have a Cursus monument running through it.
That, of course. And then there's round barrows there from the Bronze Age, I
stone
guess.
circles, standing stones, henges. It's your classic, like, big ritual complex. And then on top of that, there's loads of Bronze Age stuff, which is always an indication that there was previous Neolithic activity in the landscape.
Yeah, the Bronze Age people liked to just go and find the Neolithic things and then stick their dead people on top.
Yeah, they had they loved their little ancestor worship. So
anywhere
the ancestors were, the Bronze Age people were.
And it's an interesting one because you then.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I should mention that one up at Bootle. I found there was a report that a pipeline was put through there, and in the ditch, one of the layers of the ditch, they found a beaker. So it predates the beaker period because it was part of the ditch fill. And the Beaker people, again, loved secondary burials and sticking
Yes.
their beakers in actual Neolithic sites.
Yep. The beakers obviously being the things that they were drinking from to get pissed.
Yes.
So they were turning up, having a big party,
Yeah.
and passing
Put
out
the
and
grog in.
losing the grog. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Richard Bradley, who's a big name in this field, I think he suggested that these might have been proto-henges,
Nice.
which sort of drifted over from Ireland around that time.
Okay.
And because this area as well has a lot of Irish passage tomb art.
Mm-hmm.
It actually has the largest panel of Irish passage tomb art in the British Isles. So they should really call it Cumbrian art because we have the biggest one.
I mean, I'm thinking because Newgrange seems to be really, really early. Would you? Is it really, really early? I mean,
Newgrange is around 3,200 BC, and then everything sort of they have earlier stuff there. They actually have a cursus there, which is quite rare for Ireland. But it does seem to be one of those places where a lot of people from all over the place sort of drifted into.
It seems to be one of those special places, Newgrange.
Yes, but I mean, Ireland has Sligo area, the Carramore. I think it's Carramore. I might be getting mixed up with another one. I can't remember the name of it. It's the Carramore necropolis, I think, where there's loads of stone circles there, and they're something like 3,900 BC. So they're the oldest stone circles, not only in the British Isles. I think they actually predate the stone circles in Carnac in France.
Wow.
So I think it's northwestern Ireland. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure has, if not the oldest stone circles, it has some of the oldest stone circles in Western Europe.
It's weird, isn't it? The way that these things seem to begin somewhere where they shouldn't, in a way. It seems like
exactly.
It doesn't really make much sense that it starts there. That's kind of like the earliest, as far as I'm aware, some of the earliest evidence of agriculture in Britain is like up in the north. So it seems like people just skirted all the way along the coast and then just plonked themselves down up in Scotland somewhere.
Yeah, I can only assume that's survivorship bias. I can't.
Yeah, probably.
It makes no sense in a lot of ways.
Probably.
It's like
there's
it's like
a lot of that
Orkney.
going on, isn't
You
there?
cut Orkney and it bleeds archaeology. Yeah, because no one's there. Like,
Yes.
Who's built on that?
Yes, absolutely.
So I think we have a lot of evidence for it up in. I mean, the Lake District has loads and loads of archaeology. Yorkshire less so because it's just
more
a lot
farmed.
built on it and more farms. But
A lot of cities in Yorkshire.
This west coast of Cumbria will have like so much. Not even Bronze Age and Neolithic archaeology. It's got Viking crosses. It's got Anglo-Saxon churches.
Yeah.
It's got everything. It's a magical place. It really is.
I need to spend some more time up in Cumbria. It's one
If you ever
area
want a
of
trip to
Britain-
Cumbria, honestly, it's really, really, really good.
It's one area of Britain I haven't spent a huge amount of time in, actually. I've got to go. Relatively close to me. Relatively.
It's
I always
hard to go
find
across
myself.
country.
I always find myself in Wales. There's something about Wales.
Well, Wales is very similar. Wales is a very similar vibe. It's a marginal landscape. It's a marginal upland landscape. So people haven't really.
Yes.
The Bronze Age people loved an upland landscape because they
for
just
sure.
burnt all the forests
For
and they
sure,
were nice and they weren't moorlands at that point. They could actually use them.
Exactly.
Nowadays, they're a huge desert.
I think doing what we do, you have to sort of pick a little bit, don't you? You have to pick your area a bit that you get to know well. So I've sort of picked Wales, North Wales. I sort of picked to get to know well. If I was to jump into Cumbria, I mean, I'll do a bit of Cumbria, but I think I will never be able to know it as well as you do.
Have you ever done anything on? Is it called Ynys Môn?
Yes. Well, that's Anglesey.
Anglesey, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
My next video is going to relate to that.
Bring Kefley D.
Yes. However you say that.
Beautiful place that is. I mean, that's
I was there a couple of months ago.
Oh, nice.
It's great.
Yes. Yeah, no, North Wales is beautiful. Yeah,
that's part of that culture, though. That's passage tombs on the western coast.
Bryn Kefley D is one of those ones.
It's Irish. It's just the Irish people.
Mace Howe as well.
Mace Howe, yeah.
On Orkney.
The Irish were very much a maritime people.
Yes.
Especially of the mid to late Neolithic. So
Yeah,
3,200 to about 2,800 BC. For whatever reason, the Irish seem to have just gone mental and
They do it
colonised
again.
everywhere.
They do it again after the Roman period. So in the 4th century, 5th century AD, they do it again. The Irish go everywhere.
They emerge like worms. That's
Yep.
what Peter said.
Well, they come across to Wales and they take much of Wales, to be honest, and a bunch of Cornwall. And actually, Scotland comes from Ireland. It was the kingdom of Dalriada, and then it turns into Scotland. So the Scottish were actually Irish originally, just to go. It's confusing, man.
Yeah, they're great though. I mean, they really. It's like they're like Vikings. They just kept coming over and plonking their flag down. But my thesis, if anyone wants to know this, is that the whole Stonehenge has its roots in Ireland. That whole morphology, the whole culture, is very much a Newgrange Passage Tomb culture. The original.
Merlin.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, that was what people used to say.
Yeah. But it's amazing the truth that is in the weird ancient myths when you sort of like scratch away at the surface a bit. Sometimes there is a lot of truth in these weird ancient myths. And yes, Merlin decided that Stonehenge was brought over from Ireland, didn't he? And it's
that's the old myth.
It was brought over from the west, and at that time, the west of Wales was a bit Irish.
Yes, it was. I'd say it was fully Irish Passage Tomb by that point. Around 3000 BC, that whole western coast of Great Britain was engaging in passage tombs, in standing stones, which Britain, throughout the early Neolithic, Ireland was building big standing stone monuments. What was Great Britain doing? We were building cursus monuments, causeway enclosures. Sometime around 3200 BC, all of that re-emerges. It's like Ireland is like the Neolithic pancreas, where it sort of like floods in needed little bits and pieces of the culture. So it sort of comes back after the Irish sort of come forward. And then we have the earliest phases of Stonehenge around that time. And over time, that merges with beaker culture to create what's now known as Stonehenge.
Stonehenge is mental. Like there's a lot going on at Stonehenge. It's kind of like everything of the Neolithic in there. I didn't used to really like Stonehenge that much. I used to think, it's a bit boring, but it is pretty great. I can see why it's so iconic. The stones are also gigantic as well.
It's one of the things I'm known for is slagging off Stonehenge.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get you to say something positive about it, but you're not going to do it. Just no comment from Adam.
No comment.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is... Should we go to the next one?
Yes, we should, yes.
Because this is a nice little segue, actually, because I'm going to show you something that you may know about, you may not.
Sorry if this has been too rambly, by the way.
No, this is great.
Coming back a
Rambly is
million
good.
non sequiturs.
No, Rambly is good. This is Oyu in Japan. So, other side of the world, as far away from Britain as we can get, really. But they have stone circles.
Oh, wow.
So this is in the 2nd millennium BC. There's 2 stone circles here at the town of Oyu, which kind of means hot springs, basically. So there's hot springs here. Bit of a resort town, actually, but it's in the north of the main island of Japan. It's another area, a little bit like some of these areas we've been talking about, that's full of archaeology. Because there's not a huge amount of people living up here in this northern bit. It's very mountainous. It's kind of wild. You still have bears living there. And there's stone circles all over the place.
I don't imagine bears in Japan.
Yeah, there's bears in Japan. And quite vicious as well, actually. Quite vicious. I spent a bit of time in Japan the year before last. And I was there with my wife, actually. And she was like getting really freaked out by all the bears. Because all the places we were going to was just like massively bear country. Just like, come on, we're going to go into this forest and it'll just be us, nobody else around, and there's man-eating bears in the woods. Because just after COVID, there was a big spate of people being killed by the bears.
I've never put 2 and 2 together with Japan. Bears.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, I digress. This is Oyu. But I wanted to show it because it's a stone circle, but they're tiny stones. Look how small the stones are compared to, say, Stonehenge.
It's like a ring
This is the biggest stone circle in Japan by circumference. The stones aren't very big. But kind kind of it's a similar sort of thing to the stone circles that we have. It was probably used for a similar sort of thing. We find a lot of the archaeology is very similar to in this country, but they're really small stones. There's loads of them, and they're quite condensed together. But it's like these are stones where you could carry one yourself.
That's what I'd call a ring cairn.
Nice.
That style of monument is in the UK anyway. That's called a ring cairn.
I like it. This is it from. I think I showed this one already. Let's have a
Wow.
look. Zoom in a bit. So if it, do we have monuments like this in Britain, like exactly like this?
Pretty much, yeah.
And they're called ring cairns?
You get them in northern Wales, funnily enough. Ring cairns.
Oh, I suppose it's a bit like. Oh, what's that one?
The one with the little bits pointing out.
Yeah,
Like the crown. Yeah, I can't remember.
The one that
It's
was
in-
used as a shooting range.
Yes, yeah. That's a ring
Yes.
cairn. That's when I said that 1,500 stone circles have been identified in
A lot of them
Britain,
are that.
but they're not
Yeah, yeah.
actually. They're all ring
Yeah, yeah.
cairns.
Nice. You'd maybe disagree with Aubrey Burl then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
How many stone circles do you think there are in Britain? 100.
To be honest, I don't
Few
really
hundred.
like the term stone circle. I think it's
I love
because
it.
as soon as you start using it internationally, like people call Göbekli Tepe a stone circle.
Yes.
It's like, in what way? It's a circle
Yes.
of stones, but like
Yes. It's just it's that. I mean, that's it though. That's it. It's a circle of stones.
you're better off using the sort of like sub typologies.
Yeah.
But it's,
Yeah.
yeah, but I use stone circle. To be fair, I'm not.
It's
wanna be
that thing though,
hypocrite.
isn't it? It's the. I mean, people. You know, I still use civilization, but it's. You wouldn't use that in an archaeological paper, you know,
No,
at all,
exactly.
ever.
Yeah.
Because it means nothing.
Oh no, but they do with stone circle. They do. So it, like
Yeah, stone circle is used.
the
yeah.
biggest articles on like Göbekli Tepe call it a stone circle, and presumably
Yeah.
when they write about this, they call it a stone circle. But
Yes, these are.
it's
These
sort of
are
like a it implies some sort of inherent comparison with
yes.
elsewhere where it might not fit.
Yes.
Anyway,
I
sorry.
think No, I think it does. I think it does. For me, the inherent comparison is that it's this central place where people were coming together to do ceremonies and to do rituals and probably maybe marriages and also astronomical things. So they may well have been. There's a sundial, which is interesting. This is a sundial at Oyu Stone Circle. So people may have been using it for astronomical alignments, looking at the heavens, trying to be early astronomers and this sort of thing. But yeah,
It looks just like the one at the Hill of Tara in Ireland. I don't know if
it
you've
does.
been there.
It does.
Doesn't it?
I have. Yeah. It looks like, you know, you see this sort of thing all over the place. You see this thing in Peru as well. Actually, they call them wankers there.
Oh yeah, I've been
Did you
called
know
that a
that?
few times.
Yeah, they call them wankers. So when I was in Peru, my guide kept saying, "Look, there's a wanker over there." And I'm like, "Cool,
Call the police.
good." Yeah, but yeah, a wanker is a standing stone basically. So yeah, this is a Japanese wanker.
I think they have bars for that in Japan.
I think they do. What else was I going to say? I don't know. I just like that you have monuments like this literally everywhere.
Yes.
Even if
yeah.
it is a ring cairn and not a stone circle, it's still on the other side of the world from
It's
North
just the
Wales and looks
universality
a
of the
bit
circular
similar.
enclosure.
It's the universality. Yeah, it's the universality.
You get them
for sure.
everywhere.
And of course, this is a spaceman.
Yes. Yeah,
This
that's-
was used by Eric von Daniken in his Chariots of the Gods book, where he alleged that it was a spaceman. Really, it's just a really nice ceramic.
Spacemen are whatever the people in the 1950s who are making sci-fi films. They all look like that, obviously.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. But this is from the Jomon period of Japan, which is this same culture that is making these ring cairns. It's quite magnificent. This is what I was going to ask you. Yeah. I mean, in terms of figurines, there's not many in Britain. What's going on with that? Why do we not have many figurines in Britain?
From the Neolithic.
From the Neolithic. Well, I know there's that one that was found on Orkney, which is like really simplistic, but it made
And whether
made
it's
headlines.
even figurative.
whether it's even ancient.
It might just, it might be... Well, it might
Because it
be
seems to me that
presenting
you get
something
these
else.
you get these figurines all over the world as well. You get them in the Paleolithic as well, but then in Neolithic Britain we don't really have many of them. Neolithic
it
art
comes
in
right-
Britain is all spirals and things.
Iron Age, it comes around.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Neolithic art.
It's a kind of a
I
gap.
don't want to go off another tangent about Irish passage,
No, we can do it,
stream
we can
art,
do it.
but Neolithic art in Britain is figurative no matter where you go. But sorry, not figurative.
It's
anywhere
not
you
figurative.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's the cup and ring marks, which you get in Scotland and Northumberland, and then you've got.
Is there a taboo? Like, why are they not making
I don't
any
know.
figurines?
I don't know. I don't know.
'Cause these
There
are-
might have
these
been
are
some kind of
everywhere.
taboo against
Yeah.
presenting
Are
people in
they-
stone or something, or they were doing it on wood.
Are they religious fundamentalists and they don't allow the depiction of the human form?
Maybe.
But no, they might be doing it on wood. As
But
you say, maybe.
even in the Bronze Age, though, even in the Bronze Age, there isn't, because you would have thought a new people come in, which is what happened,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
bring with them ideas that allow that. But even then, right up until the Celts sort of emerge, it's
Because it can't surely be that Christianity gets rid of all of it. Like, I know that Christianity tried to get rid of idols and things in the Anglo-Saxon period, but
no,
surely
we
they can't
would
get rid of
have-
everything.
We would have dug them up, surely.
Yeah, you can't dig up every
There
archaeological
is that
site.
one actually, Kilmartin Glen. There's a carving of a deer, but that's it as far as I know in terms
Yeah,
of
I
carvings.
don't know.
things.
I don't know many. It's weird though, yeah, because in Japan, literally these are everywhere. You go into a museum and there'll be 10,000 of them, and it's just a small regional museum.
Well,
And
to
it's
be fair, that's barely a carving of a human. That's very odd.
But there's none of this.
Yeah, true. There's nothing even
Wouldn't
humanoid.
you give anything to have see just a bit of an insight into what was going on in the minds of these people in ancient Britain? You know, I'd love to have this.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah,
I love how
yeah.
weird it is. I mean, there's this one as well, which is even weirder.
Is that Japan? That's Japan. That's
It's Japan as
Jomon.
well.
Is that right?
This is Jomon period, yeah.
It looks
So-
like a wrestler or a boxer.
Yeah, what's with the
sparring.
hat? Because this is the great thing that you get in these. You get an insight into what, headgear and things like this. Whereas we don't really get that so much in the Neolithic in Britain.
It's funny. I always think it's funny that these do. I mean, these are from like 4,000 BC or something like that. Is that right? 3,000, 2,000?
The really good ones, like this one, would be like 2000 to 1000 BC. But
Right.
they're a bit more simple, but they go all the way back to like 14,000 BC.
Wow, 14,000.
Hmm.
I find it interesting how there is almost a bit of, and this is probably wrong, it almost looks like that looks Japanese.
Yeah, it does.
It looks Japanese.
It does. It
like if I
does.
was,
It really
like
does.
it looks like the kind of thing
Yeah.
Japanese people, but it's like 2,000 years old.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, a lot of them do. They just look really Japanese. It's great.
But it's not.
It's
It's
like there
not
was-
Japanese. It's not even the same.
I mean, to be honest, the genetically Japanese people may have arrived with rice when rice arrived in about 300 BC. But these Jomon people, I think a little bit like the hunter-gatherers in Britain, there's not a huge amount of genetic evidence left from them. I think there's a little bit, but not a huge amount.
Do you think they
d-
had? Were these the ones with the keyhole tombs?
No, that's the Kofun people. So
Is that later?
that's later than this. The Kofun period is just after the first rice farmers. So that's like Japan is properly in place at that point, and it's a bit earlier than the samurai.
We've got rice. Let's get building some massive tombs.
Pretty much, yeah. And as soon as rice arrives, everyone's killing each other, and it's grim. And there's kings and queens and everybody else, and tens of thousands of people are forced to make these giant keyhole tombs, and that's that.
Yes.
Basically,
well, that
God
is
kings.
interesting. It is interesting how big monuments. It's not fashionable to say nowadays, but presumably these almost impossible monuments, because you go from like a small stone circle like that to something that's like mad.
Yeah,
Like a Khufu
pyramid.
pyramid.
Yeah,
That heavily implies a top-down civilization with someone calling the shots.
big
surely.
time. Yeah,
I mean,
big
it's like North Korea's mega hotels. It's
Yes.
someone's like
That's right. Yeah.
making things happen.
Authoritarian for sure.
It's the same thing. I mean,
Someone's
yeah.
calling the shots.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I was going to say, yeah. The biggest Kofun tomb is in the top 3 tombs ever built by humans. So you've got
really.
the Great Pyramid of Giza, the mausoleum of the first emperor of China, and the Kofun tomb in Mozu in Osaka. Those 3 as far as I'm aware, in terms of volume, they're the biggest tombs in the world. Those three.
Wow. Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
Kofun. I've never really thought about Kofun tombs there.
If you see a picture of it, you can't even really grasp that it's made by humans because it's incorporated now into the landscape. So it's kind of like a park in the city of Osaka.
Right.
I'll show you a picture.
They're not excavated, are they, either? They're not...
No, they're not
There's
allowed.
a bit of a taboo, yeah.
Not allowed because they're associated with the imperial house.
God,
Yeah, this
I'd
is
love to
this
dig
is.
them up.
Oh, yeah, it would be great. Well, maybe one day. I mean, I think they're hoping for non-invasive ways of doing it, you know. But look at this, man, and look at those are flipping skyscrapers.
Oh my
around
God,
it.
yeah. It's like Central Park.
Yeah, it's bonkers. And there's this massive moat as well that's been dug. And that is what you get when
That's
you have
prehistoric.
organised agriculture.
That's prehistoric, presumably. That's
It's just prehistoric.
just, yeah.
The first histories in Japan come about around about 700 AD. This is like 400 AD. So it's a few hundred years before history. There are myths about the people who made it.
Isn't it?
It's associated with one of the early emperors, but before about 700 AD, the early emperors are kind of mythic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think Oyu Stone Circle in Yorkshire is pretty cool.
We've gone on a
too,
big
to be
tangent, but
honest,
let's. But I suppose this is the thing. When proper agriculture begins, you can do something like this because you're forcing people through your own sort of power and the image that you can put across. You know, it's like you're a god king, basically. This is like Old Kingdom Egypt sort of stuff.
It's unfashionable to say, but yeah, it's. I do feel like there has to be some kind of.
I don't follow fashions, Adam. Look at my shirt. I know what you mean, though. Yeah, it's sort of it's fallen out of favour so much to talk about
To like
hierarchies and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think there's a lot to it. But that's just me.
Do you want to do my last one?
Let's go to.
I'm aware my wife's going to come home in any second and start playing with the dog.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a move on. My last one is going to be very quick, actually, because I just wanted to show the image of it and just mention it. So, which one's your last one?
Kirk Hammerton.
Kirk Hammerton. Cool.
Do you want to start with the? Yeah, actually, start with that one.
Here we go.
They're the Thornborough Henges, actually. Don't start with that.
Oh, okay. That's not the right site.
It plays into it though, so that's why I've included it. Okay, so this right here is one of the nicest churches I've ever been in. I don't know if you're like me, where if you pass a sign that says ancient church, you have to go and visit it.
Look at those walls. It's the big blocks, isn't it?
Can you guess the age of that? The tower.
I think it's pre-Norman.
Yes, you're right. It's an Anglo-Saxon tower.
Yeah.
In a village called Kirk Hammerton, just west of York, on a Roman road. So it's a really, really great little village. If you're ever in Yorkshire, go visit Kirk Hammerton. It's so nice. But even better reason to visit it is that church right there sits on top of a mound. And that mound, back in something like 1910, was found.
I'm sorry. I've got Dan Davis just made a great joke. He says Kirk Hammerton, he plays lead guitar for Metallica.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, man. Also, he says it must have been a cultural taboo to not carve humans and even animals about the Neolithic.
It must have been, yeah. True. What else?
Sorry, man. I completely interrupted. Carry
on.
No,
that's fine. Kirk Hammerton Church sits on a mound, basically, and when they were redoing the floors, they found a bone necklace in it.
Okay, nice.
Which is
nice.
Probably from the early Bronze Age, but it was on the top of the mound. So in the early Bronze Age, they stuck a bone necklace in the top of this mound. If you flip to the LiDAR image I've got, which is like red and purple.
Oh, wow.
This is LiDAR of, you see the really bright area down south? That is the mound.
Okay, yeah.
So it already looks pretty sus. It's got a real shape to it. So at the very least, that's a burial mound.
Yeah.
That is probably Neolithic, which in the Thornborough landscape where this is, which goes from the Vale of York up to the Vale of Mowbray, between the Pennines and the North York Moors. You have all these giant Neolithic burial mounds, round barrows, which is very uncommon. You don't get round barrows from the Neolithic in Great Britain, really, unless they're passage tombs.
I associate with barrows with the Bronze Age.
Exactly. But they're called the Great Mounds of Yorkshire, and there are quite a few of them in, especially in the East Riding. It's actually where, do you know the Folkton drums?
No.
Folkton drums were some. Oh, you'll have to find these. They're absolutely incredible. I should include a picture, really.
Oh, I do know of items like this. Yeah, I've seen some of these in the Stonehenge exhibition at the British
Yes,
Museum.
they were at the Stonehenge exhibition.
I've seen. Yeah, I do know these. Then,
yes, but they were found in one of these mounds, so it's its own little sort of cultural milieu over there.
Oh, I should show this on screen. I'm talking about these drums and not showing them.
That's them. Yeah,
these drums.
They're very decorated.
Covered in this.
They've got little faces on them,
yeah.
and they were found in the grave of a child. Funnily enough,
Are they made of stone?
they're made of chalk. I believe.
Chalk. Wow.
Yeah, I think they're made of chalk. I'm pretty sure they're made of chalk.
Amazing.
But they've got little faces on them. Oh, there you go. There's some figurative art. I found it. It's the Folkton drums. And they just found a new one as well, part of the collection. They found another Folkton drum just last year. Or actually, I think it was 2021 they found it. But
It's like someone is trying to circumnavigate a taboo or something, because it is a face, but it could be a lion as well.
Yeah, true, yeah. It could be an arse.
Someone's being cheeky.
Yeah. It could be anything. But it looks like a face. There you go, that's it.
It does look like a face, yeah.
It could be a bird dropping some eggs or something.
Could be, yeah.
It's definitely a face, though, 100%.
It is a face.
But the designs on this, by the way, are Irish passage tomb designs. So that kind of art there is exactly what you get on Newgrange.
There's the angel at Knowth, isn't there? Is it Knowth or is it Newgrange?
Yeah. It's Knowth.
Supposed angel, and it looks a little bit like this.
Yeah, it's that kind of art is that little sort of like spirally thing on the top left there. That's very much Irish passage tomb art.
Yes.
There's like concentric circles without a cup mark in the middle.
Yes.
As
Yeah,
well
you
as
see
the
these all
hatch
over
marks.
the place.
That's super Irish passage tomb art.
Yeah.
So whether it's connected to that, and all these burial mounds are connected to that, because again, these were dated to around 3,200 BC. So we're talking about that exact same period. But anyway, going back to Kirk Hammerton.
This is amazing.
It's cool. Have you ever seen these before?
Well, I have seen them. I guess in the British Museum at the Stonehenge exhibition. To be honest, at that exhibition, I was blown away because there was so much to see. You know, I was focusing on
one.
What are they had the Nebra Sky Disc was the big one that I was super interested in. And what else did they have there? Some other mad things.
They had a pitchfork from Cumbria. I know that.
Classic. They had part of Woodhenge just in the British Museum.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was sort of like a high watermark for Neolithic archaeology in the UK. That exhibition, it was amazing.
One of the best exhibitions I've ever been to. Yeah, really good, really good.
I think did Dan Davis make a video on these actually? Shout out to Dan Davis.
Yeah, he probably did.
I
If he
think
hasn't,
did.
he needs to. The other one are the stone balls, right? The crazy Neolithic stone balls.
the Scottish ones.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I'm just going to turn my light on because I'm getting dark.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, the British Museum do a lot of good exhibitions. The one that I went to 2 years ago now was on the Silk Road. That was a really good one as well. The Silk Road.
I think I'm dark
Silk
now.
Road.
It's
It's even darker, yeah, I love it.
Oh well.
No, I was just waffling about the British Museum's special exhibitions. They did one on the Silk Road, which was really good as well.
They're always the best part of the British Museum, I think, is the ones you pay to get into.
That's right, yeah. Well, I'm a member, so I'm glad that I have those special exhibitions to go to, because that's why I pay my money.
Yeah, showing off.
I know,
yeah. But yes, anyway, the culture who built those was probably connected to this mound in some way, just because it was one of the great mounds, and it's there in the Vale of York. So if you just sort of place yourself in that little cultural moment, but if you show that LiDAR, sorry, there you go. can you make out any patterns in that? Can you see a circle?
There.
As in, like, it's big. It takes up. It's right in
Oh.
the centre. The whole thing, if you look at it, forms a sort of donut shape.
Yes, I can see that.
So, if you're looking north of the mound bit, that would be the centre of the donut. So the light part. It might be hard to see. I think because I've looked at it so often, it might be too obvious to me. But either way, there is a shadow under Kirk Hammerton, and it is possibly.
Shadow. That sounds like Lovecraft.
It does, yeah. The shadow over Innsmouth, yeah.
Yeah. The shadow under Kirk Hammerton.
But it's it appears to be a 160-metre wide henge. So it's one of the biggest henges in northern England, basically.
And the church is built on top of it.
The church is built on what looks to be the southern terminal of it, which is, it's preserved a bit of the henge. So while the town has sort of grown up around it, that terminal where they placed the henge, where they placed that Saxon church, they haven't dug that bit out because there's a church sat on top of it. So the rest of it's been quite flattened.
Right.
Yeah.
So the bit that survives is under the church.
Exactly. And it's kind of obvious when you look at that mound and how it sort of, if you look left of that mound, it sort of sprouts off and goes around.
Wow.
You see that? But if you flip, I've got a picture of, I don't know what other pictures I've got this actually. I think I've got a picture of Thornborough. Yeah, that one. That's what it would have looked like. So that's what's known as a Thornborough type henge, or a class 2A henge, which is a very specific kind of henge monument here in the British Isles, which has two entrances facing one another, with another concentric ring around the outside. Very specific to the Vale of Mowbray, found only one place else, which is Dorchester, down south. There's just one there randomly.
Oh yeah, I've been there actually.
I think it's called Dorchester Big Rings or something like that.
Dorchester is a crazy landscape. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, but I think it's mainly been quarried out. I think.
Yeah.
Going by memory.
Yeah. It's the only things that survive are the ones that are so big that you can't get rid of them, like Maiden Castle.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. But these ones here, I mean, they're some of the big. You don't really see it on camera, but have you ever been to Thornborough?
No, I've not. I need to go there. I remember a couple of years ago it was bought by English Heritage, possibly.
They bought two of them, yeah.
They're now protecting some of it, yeah. And
didn't stop me beforehand. I'm a serial trespasser. I was on it all the time.
Yeah, same. Yeah. You're not supposed to say it out loud, Adam.
It's a civil offence. No one can stop me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like a pirate sometimes. It's great. But yeah, it's a public right to roam.
Yeah. Bring it on. But yeah, it's you
can't own something that's 5,000 years old, can you?
No, exactly. Let me on it.
Yeah.
I've been shouted at so many times. I'm terrible. But yeah,
it's beautiful though.
Yeah, they're the Thornborough henges. There's three in a row there.
Yeah.
It looks like there's like a cursus connecting them. That's just modern field boundaries. But it doesn't really do justice for how massive they actually are. Can you see the little tree to the right of it?
Yep. And
that's a full size tree. Like
is this a car here or something?
Yeah, that's a car.
Something there. Yeah.
So they actually used to have the meeting of the Druids in these, and people used to park their cars in the middle.
Right. When you say Druids, you mean the modern Druids?
Hippies, yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty hippies used to sort of prance around in their pants in the middle.
The ones who go to Stonehenge.
Yeah.
The Grand Wizard. Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Stonehenge at the summer solstice, because I think it'd be a riot. Because you'd probably get a sense of what it used to be like.
You'd get high just standing there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
The amount of
but you get a sense of what it was like, 2,500 BC.
Yeah.
Just in the sense of there being people
more
there.
Plonkers in the audience than you might be used to.
I don't know. I think there'd be a lot of plonkers in 2,500 BC.
Yeah, true.
I always think there's the people who are doing the I guess the ones who are administering the religion, but then not everybody is that into religion and things like that, are they? So there'd be people there just getting pissed.
Yeah,
There'd be people there
exactly.
just wanting to party, and
Well,
not
when we
in-
think about there's sort of a romantic idea that you go back there and everyone's really like sort of magical, solemn and magical. But
Yeah, I don't think it's
you'd
like
get
that.
your time bangle on and press the button, and you go back there and go, oh god, these guys are insufferable.
I think it would be a
They're
complete
well
mess.
annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah.
rolling around on the floor drunk.
Yeah.
I think
Chanting like, "Whoa," it'd
my
just
my,
be
my fiance
a
is
mess.
trying to get in through the door, so I'm just going to go let her in.
Go for it.
2 seconds.
Sure. So yeah, I like the prehistory guys, Rupert Soskin in Standing with Stones, which is a great film that they made a number of years ago now. He says, he floats the idea of blood sports at these things. I was just saying, there's a guy called Rupert Soskin from the prehistory guys.
Yes, no,
And
Rupert's Soskin, yeah.
He floats the idea of blood sports at these things. I always like that.
That is great, yeah.
Just, we think of them as these solemn religious things, but really it might have just been like an arena.
And everyone had a tapeworm.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, definitely
And
everyone had a
stank.
tapeworm. Many tapeworms, yeah. More tapeworm than person.
It wouldn't be the same like as the nice clean visitor centre you've got there at Stonehenge
Oh,
these days. It's like the
definitely.
complete opposite. It would have been
Definitely not.
It would have been wild.
Oh, 100% wild. Do you know what, we can finish now. We'll quickly do my last one.
Yep.
You might know more about this site than I do. I just wanted to talk about it because you're going to completely.
I was hoping
I
you'd
don't know.
teach me about it, to be honest.
It's a
Do you
site
want to say
that I
hi,
really want.
Kez?
No, we'll go for a walk while you do that.
Okay. She's taking the dog for a walk.
All right. Cool. This is a site that was on the thumbnail.
Right. My
Thumbnail
question about
picture.
this is, how big are those stones?
They're not that big, They're not that big. They're not as big as the ones in Britain because I thought they were massive.
Have you been there?
No, I've not. I would like to go. It's quite.
It's one of those
remote,
things
I think.
you hear about it. You see like list of stone circles and older swans. It's always like,
Yeah.
oh, there's that Nabta Playa one in pre-dynastic Egypt.
Well, this is why I
And
picked
I
it
was like,
because
well, I've never seen a picture of a human standing in it.
it's supposedly the oldest in the world. Supposedly,
Right.
Nabta Playa. Who knows? Might be because it's kind of, what is it? Certainly. Actually, I'm saying certainly. I don't know. Where's the dates? I made a note of it somewhere. Let's Google it. It's definitely a weird site because I think most people think of ancient Egypt. They don't think of stone circles. But you're going to say this isn't a stone circle.
Well, it's a sort of a false dichotomy. There's this like debate of what the oldest stone circle is. Oh, it's been trumped by Göbekli Tepe. And it's like, well, they're not related in the slightest. Who cares?
They're not. No. Well, this is 7,500 to 6,000 BC, so it's old. I mean, it's as old as, the Sahara was still green when this.
Wow. Wait, what was that? 6,000.
6,000 BC. But it might be as early as 7,500 BC. But this is just googling it, so
Wow.
it's probably a more accurate date somewhere. But people are doing the whole stone circle thing. Whether they're doing the same thing as they're doing in Britain later, who knows?
They're going mental, having a massive party.
It might be. They might well be. But people are already agriculturalists at this time in Egypt, and kings have not arisen yet, it seems, and they're living the same sort of incipient early agricultural lifestyle as people do in Neolithic Britain when it begins there. He's got his alarms on again. You've got to breathe.
Got to remember to breathe, yeah.
But yeah, this is some of the pottery and ceramics and things that are found there. Kind of similar to the stuff that you get everywhere. So I just wanted to hammer home the point that we're all exactly the same.
Can I give away a little secret here? Before
Do
we
it.
started this, I said, oh, Nabta Playa, I'm excited for you to talk about that. And you're like, I don't really know much about it.
I don't know anything about it. I know nothing about this place, really. But it's an interesting place, and everybody should look it up. Nabta
It's bloody
Playa.
interesting.
Really cool. And I like that a lot of the things from here. I mean, if I looked at this image, I might think that was from Britain.
Yes. Oh, well, yeah, again.
Particularly
yeah,
the ones on the
absolutely.
left.
Yeah. Zigzags.
Yeah.
Well, this is
It's
actually...
zigzaggy type thing, isn't it?
I don't want to do a Flint Dibble here, but pseudo-archaeology is always pointing out connections between things and saying there's a zigzag on Göbekli Tepe. There's a zigzag.
Of course there
in,
are.
in the Mayans and spirals. They're always pointing at spirals.
Of course
I
there are.
want to throttle them.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
what?
how could there not be?
Children scroll zigzags.
Yeah. We've been doing this forever. We've always been doing the same designs. It's just what comes naturally. It looks nice. Feels nice to do it. If you have ever made a bowl or anything from clay, you know, COVID pandemic, there were lots of time on our hands. My wife and I made some pots because we were like, let's just, you know, we've run out of other things to do. So we made some nice pots, and it just feels nice.
Those pots?
No, just in our own home. I think it was like a mail order kit. But I made a beaker pot. I was quite happy with it. Don't know where it is now. But I made a beaker pot, and just realising kind of, number one, how easy it is. Really, it's quite easy to do if you're not using a wheel spinner, and number two, just it feels nice. It feels nice to do it.
There's a guy out there called like Potted History who makes replica prehistoric pots, and I've always wanted one of his coloured urns. I'd love one of those.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
So I can be buried in it.
Yeah.
In a pile of rubbish like that.
Just throw you in a skip.
Not Tel Qaramel, whichever the...
Huaca Prieta.
Like Huaca Prieta.
We'll chuck you in a skip, and then in a few generations it might become something.
In a porcelain pot.
Exactly. I thought you were going to say in a portaloo. Just
in a portaloo, yeah. Throw me in a porcelain toilet.
And then, yeah, exactly.
And flush me down the toilet.
Chuck you in it.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. Do Americans have tips? I keep saying that, but a tip is just a place where you empty your rubbish.
A tip, isn't it?
What's that? Yeah.
Half the country.
Can't say that.
Yeah.
Probably Ohio is seen as a tip. Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, Adam, I think all my subscribers are American, so I don't want to.
Oh well, let me just make.
We love America.
Let me just say the views from me do not reflect history or his brother.
Yes. I like America. America is great.
Yes.
Carry on watching my channel. Thank you, everybody.
I, however, hate it.
Adam's just got subscribers from the north of England. They're all not from Lancashire, though.
Well, I think they're all from Paul Whitewick's channel, to be honest, whichever country they come from.
They're all Paul Whitewick subscribers. Yeah. Oh, no. Come on, Dan Davis. Come on. Impressions on ceramics help it to be held, but also change the thermal properties for cooking and heating. That's interesting.
Oh, bloody hell.
So different ways of making a pot would create a different meal. You can make different foods with different... Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it gives it a bit of structural support as well, just having a bit of...
Yeah.
I don't know, that's interesting now. I wonder if that's...
Do you, before we move, because we'll just do questions as well at the end, do you have anything you want to say about Nabta Playa?
I'd just love to see a photo. Get me a photo of someone stood in it. I wish there was... I want to know how big the stones are.
I think they're more like the Japanese stone circles.
This big? I'd be a lot less interested and impressed if they're like this big. Because there's one off Israel as well. That's the stone circle. That's got quite big stones of the same period. You're
going to be so disappointed.
There you go. You ain't wrong as an American, says JD. He's JD Vance has chimed in.
Well, we are talking about his hometown.
Ohio.
Or his home state. There you go. How disappointed are you?
Come on now. I've seen garden centres with better stone circles than that.
Yeah. But then it's difficult to know because that doesn't actually look like the other ones.
Right, I'm sorry.
I'll tell you where...
they've been propped back up. How have they stayed upright this whole time? Look how small they are.
Egypt is the greatest in the world at marketing, I'll say. Egypt is very good at marketing.
That's surely. Well, maybe. Who knows? I don't know how well things survive in arid environments.
It looks like they... I don't know, have they been submerged by sand?
They might be very deep. They might be very deep.
The sand may have been taken away and therefore they now have been exposed. Don't know. Doesn't really look like that one.
Yeah. It's not really a stone circle, is it? It's more like a cairn.
It's tiny.
It's like a cairn with some
the Japanese ones are bigger.
Spiky bits.
Calling you out, Egypt.
We've really gone in on Nabta Playa. Lonely Planet guys, do not go to Nabta Playa.
Yeah, there are some very obscure stone circles in Britain that are much bigger than that.
Yes, yeah. Then again, they're not as old, so it's not.
They're not
really,
as old.
It's not about how exciting somewhere looks. It's about
That's
how
right. Yeah.
important
It is
they are,
about it being the oldest.
But it's
isn't
not
it?
really, is it? I mean, come on.
Um,
Half the challenge is making it interesting.
It's all marketing. It's all marketing. Right. Let's have a quick look at any questions. If anybody, we can't multitask. Sorry, everybody. I
assume there's a delay as well. Is there a delay on us speaking to them popping up in comments? How many people are on this now? It must be down to a few people at this point. Been going for 2.5 hours.
We've got 6 people. Now we've got 62 people. I mean, that's like a hall full of people. I'm happy with 62 people.
We've got 62 people.
Yeah, there was
Really?
we reached the height of 100 people at one point,
Really?
and then
Oh, wow.
I think we both just started waffling, so it went down to down to 60.
I'm treating this as a conversation with Pete Kelly rather than
100%.
a live broadcast.
That's what I treat them as. I'm sorry, everybody listening, but it's just an excuse for me to talk to like-minded people. But I thought may as well put it out there as well. And, yeah, put it out into the public.
I'm happy with 62. That's great.
I'm looking for some questions. Do you see any? Can you even see the chat, Adam?
Right, chat. You better start asking questions, or
Can you
else.
see the chat?
I can see the chat. Yeah, we've got. Nate says happy to be here since the start.
You can just read everyone out, yeah.
Right, I'll go from the top. We'll read the whole chat.
Someone says Millennium Dome is the O2 Arena? Still being used today. I think it is actually. It's not used for its original purpose, that's for sure.
Someone says, Peter, you familiar with the mocha?
I like mochas. I prefer cappuccinos.
Oh,
We did briefly talk about the moche.
I was going to
actually.
say, yeah, the mocha.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the moche. I'm going to do a big history time on the moche eventually. I want to go back and do some more investigating first, though, because there's loads of moche sites. Once you get into the Americas, things just go crazy. I love the Americas.
Bruce Wren asks, plans for HIV plus in human food soon? Please, no. That's a
That
bad
doesn't
plan.
That doesn't sound great.
I'm assuming that's an archaeological question.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I thought you might know more about that than me.
What, No.
Okay.
Has anything been published on the 100,000-year-old burial yet? Sounds interesting. Don't know about that. Don't know anything about that. Have you heard anything about that?
I assume they were burying people 100,000 years ago, but no.
Dan Davis says Mesolithic shell middens in Europe also had some burials inserted into them, so that's interesting. Linked to Huaca Prieta.
They're just a good place to put a body, aren't they?
I think they are, yeah. It's like, you don't want your dead... To be honest, a lot of early societies do have their dead bodies just lying around in their houses. That happens in the Neolithic, doesn't it? Places like Skara Brae and places. What do you think about that?
Under houses.
Under houses, yeah. But it seems like some people would live with the body for a bit. and
Yeah,
they
well,
still
that
do it
actually
in
ties
places like
into.
Indonesia.
I think that ties into the ring cairn tradition because they're very similar. They're almost like they're almost like hut circles, and those are like layered after layer with different human remains, and presumably following a hut's falling down, it was just a good place to use as like a ring cairn.
Yeah.
I never really find. I mean, obviously, there's the theory of like the house of the dead. They put the dead
Yes.
on the floor and all this.
Yes.
Possibly, yeah. But also, just it is an enclosure in of itself, isn't it?
Mm.
It might be similar to putting someone in a shell midden.
Yeah. Chuck them in the dump.
Chuck them in the old house.
On that note, I think my coffee rush has ended.
Yeah, me too. I'm dead.
Now I'm going to go lie down, think about my choices in life, and cry myself to sleep.
Brilliant. Well, on that note, I'll throw myself out the window.
And yeah. All right, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Pete. I've really enjoyed this.
Thanks for coming on. You've become progressively darker as the stream has gone on. I've just noticed. You're now
I'm basically in the dark.
pitch black. Yeah.
I positioned myself here because it had a lot of sunlight. It's actually
I'm
very
really
dark
cold
corner of
now.
the room.
I've got like a nice light shirt on and shorts and bare feet, and now I'm freezing.
Yeah, I suppose these things go on. I think all your
Britain.
videos have been about this size, haven't they? They've all been about this length. That's
Oh
right.
yeah, more or less, somewhere between 2 and the longest was about 3.5 hours. Because ancient America's Pete, we just couldn't stop talking.
He's great. I love his channel.
Oh, he's brilliant. Yeah, we got it was about 2 hours, and we'd only got through about 2 of them. To be honest, we were similar. We spent about half an hour on our first few, and then we speeded up.
It's because you start counting the hours.
Yeah, you start realising, bloody hell, got to finish at some point. All right. Anyway, yeah. Speak to you soon.
Can I
Stay
quickly
in
give a
touch.
shout out to a channel?
Do it.
Everyone, please subscribe to me, Adam Morgan
Yes.
Ibbotson, and B, subscribe to a guy called WC21 UK Productions Limited, or just look.
I want to get him on here.
WC20. Have you watched his videos?
Yeah, really
He's
good.
great, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's an oddball, but he's great.
Well, you don't want to say that if he's going to be listening here.
He won't mind. I know, but he's yeah.
He's like an antiquarian. He's amazing. He
walks around in tweed and
it's brilliant.
goes to like
It's
really
like
remote sites in the UK.
It's like seeing William Stukeley in the flesh. You know?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. So yeah, send him some love.
I love these. Not that he's an outsider, but like they're known as outsider sort of voices, aren't they? Like because he's. I don't know if is he an academic. I don't really know.
He just calls himself an antiquarian.
Yeah,
He's like-
that's
He's basically an
I love
antiquarian. New antiquarianism is what they're calling it.
Yes, because
It's like
he's
him and Paul and a
he's
few
more
others in that
knowledgeable
circle.
than most academics, to be honest.
Absolutely. I think if
Yeah.
you visit for UK archaeology, if you're going out visiting a lot of sites, you've actually done more work than most academic archaeologists
Yeah.
on the site. Because
Yeah.
it's funny, like I mentioned about Shap Avenue, the vast majority of people who study Avebury and have written whole books about Avebury don't know it exists.
Yep.
You know, I feel like the knowledge is found quite often in the reaches of what's known. And like you were saying, the unknown sites, the unresearched sites, is where all the it's where all the potential is, and
100%.
that's where people should be looking. And
100%,
that
yeah.
WC21 guy, he's constantly going to places that you would never know exist and have never been touched.
Totally
And,
agree.
I
You
love that
mentioned
kind of thing.
earlier we were talking about hill forts in Cumbria. He went to a post-Roman hill fort in Cumbria that I'd never heard of, and I'm absolutely buzzing to go myself.
Was that
'Cause-
Raven Crag?
Yes.
Yes, that's one of my favourites. The
And
view from there is incredible.
I'd never heard of it. Post-Roman hill forts are a big deal to me. I've been to most of them, and I'd never heard of it. So I'm going to go.
Yes, that was my first hill fort. I went there when I was 14.
Is that where you're from?
Yes, the Lake District. It's
No, Raven Crag.
Raven Crag. Yeah, I've come from the misty mountains of Raven Crag.
That's where you were born. Yeah.
It's a great name, isn't it, for a
So
post-Roman site? Raven
good.
Crag.
So
Sounds like a
good.
title of a Dan
So-
Davis book.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, and they're post-Roman sites. They're very small. There's enough room for like one family. They're tiny places. They're so cool though. So interesting.
There's a lot up there. There's a lot in Cumbria. There's a lot of. I mean, we class them as Romano-British, but
Yes.
I mean they all have continuity into the post-Roman.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my big area of expertise. If I go back and do a PhD, which I'm considering, it will be on that period.
Get funding. If you get funding, you can do whatever you want. It's great.
I would do it part-time like you as well.
Yeah.
But I
no
just-
skin off your nose.
Purely want to do it because I want to know. I mean, that is...
And if
I don't
if
want
you're
a job
actually,
as,
if
you
you're
know.
actually interested in the topic you're doing it in, and you know a little
Yeah.
bit, you're past 99% of the people
Exactly.
actually doing PhDs.
I mean, this is what I do all day, every day anyway, so I may as well do it in a PhD form. Surely.
yeah, exactly. It's I'm doing mine and I'm finding it like it works like 5 times harder. YouTube
Yeah,
is
a
way
doddle.
more effort.
YouTube's way more
PhD's a
effort, yeah.
doddle.
YouTube's hard, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, I'll let you go, but thank you for having me. It's been
thanks
a
for
great
coming
time.
on. Everybody check out... what's the name of the channel?
WC21. He's a great guy, but also me. I'm Adam
WC21.
Morgan Ibbotson. Check me out.
I thought you were WC21. No. Yeah. Everybody check out Adam Morgan Ibbotson. I'll put a link down below. And WC21. And yeah, see you later, everybody. I'm going to